My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. Jacob and I are going to break down the entire UFC 327 fight card, giving you our picks, our predictions, our bets, and our DraftKings Fantasy Plays. This card took a little bit of a hit. We have a brand new co-main event, but it is still a spectacular fight card with some really fun matchups and one of the trickier cards so far to place bets on, but we found a way to do that. And we've got a bunch of good fight cards coming up. We're going to go from Miami, where UFC 327 is. Then we're going to Winnipeg. Then we're going back to the Apex for two top 10 featherweights. And then we're going to Perth, Australia for a spectacular welterweight match.
I won a raffle that was called Winnipeg. And I'm glad I did. That was an experience.
You got pegged? You got pegged?
Just do us all a favor. Don't say another word.
I haven't eaten dinner yet.
No, don't say no word. Just calmly reach over, grab that bag, and put it in front of the camera just so we can kind of see the size and density of what we're working with here.
Here's the thing.
No, I said don't say a word. Just you can say anything you want after. Just grab it, back up, hold it up to the camera, spin it around so you can see kind of the width, and you would say that is.
Here's the thing. I'm still in Easter vacation. So,
and that's all for you, right? That's going to be gone here, I'd say, before we get to the second fight, maybe halfway through the first fight.
I'm hoping that you talk a little longer than usual so I can eat a little bit. Here's the thing. I didn't order this. Somebody else ordered it. I didn't order this, but it showed up. I'm like that fat woman. I'm like that fat woman that gets her Panera.
You were so good on the Lord's Day. Easter came, or Jesus came back and blessed you with the Lord ordered you some Taco Bell. Some people some people have cancer and they pray and it goes away. Some people heal the blind. When the Lord wants to do a good one for Angelo, a big one for Angelo, he's sending Taco Bell to his door. Thank you, big guy.
I think I saw the fries in there too. Very underrated entry.
What all did you get? Read the receipt.
I didn't order this.
I don't read the receipt. Just go down the list. Read it all.
This is for a couple people.
No. Okay, just read it all. Just read it. Boom, 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 go.
A Crunchwrap Supreme, a beef potato griller. I don't think this is ours.
Why do you act like you've never seen some of this stuff before? Just keep going. Just keep going.
I don't think this is ours. Nachos Belgrande with no tomatoes, a bean burrito, no sauce, no onions. A CT chick burrito, a beef soft taco, no lettuce. Oh, 6 of those. A beef chalupa, a beef soft taco sup. Oh, supreme. Oh, there's crunchy taco. I gotta eat those. Large fries, nacho cheese. I gotta get these before they get soft. I didn't order this.
Oh, sure, yeah.
This is like that fat woman that's
you can lie to me, you can lie to Chad, you can lie to anybody, but you can't lie to yourself.
Oh, women lie, people lie, numbers don't lie. I am down spectacular money now, but not over the last 2,000 years. Anyway, very niche shitting on there. The reason I highlighted these 4 spectacular fight cards coming up is because it's only $10. 10. It's 1/6 of this order to unlock premium membership. Every pick, every bet, every
You're
tool.
You're going to eat 6 premium members.
I'm losing money working.
You're going to eat 6. Guys, you got to be 6 of you. Please, for the love of God, I've got to become premium members because Angelo's going to eat 6 of you by the time the first fight starts.
I just ate 6 people's worth of membership by the time this stream was over. So, yeah, if we get at least 6 new people to sign up, we're going to need more than 6 to cover the fees and a couple other things.
Joel said you can eat him.
Send a picture, full body picture, Joel.
I've got nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
I've got nipples, Greg. Listen, it's the greatest service the space has ever had, period, end of story. That is an objective fact. There is nothing remotely close between the picks, the tools, the bets, the artificial intelligence, everything you could ever want or need. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. You unlock it instantly. There's no tiers. There's no bullshit. It's everything ever. WeWantPicks.com. Here's the 4 spectacular fight cards coming up. What were you going to say?
I was just going to jump in because I know there's some people that don't become premium members or whatever. They don't want to, I don't know, for whatever
Not
reason.
everybody likes winning.
I have no idea why, but there are some of those people. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't want to become a premium member, hang out with me on Saturdays because we've been absolutely fucking destroying in the live streams. Angela, if you don't mind, I'd like to just kind of run down some of the bets that we have been hitting the last few weeks on the streams. And yeah, there's going to be misses. There's some misses in between these hits. There's no doubt about that. But anybody in the chat that tunes in for those streams will tell you we've been absolutely killing those streams. Let's just start off with Hanana Moicano by submission. We put $250 to win $575. Remember, that's to win. So you're going to get over $700 back on that one. Hanana Moicano, round 2 submission, plus 1,100. Angelo, 50 to win $550 fucking dollars. Under 2.5 on the main event. 259 to win $200. Like the list just goes on and on. Some of these prop bets we're hitting. Round 1 submission by Yakiev. 150 for 360 plus 240. We're hitting plus 375. Tommy McMillan, round 1 KO. By the way, have you seen everything going on with him?
He's duking it out with everybody on Twitter.
Dude, are you okay?
I'm about to be fantastic.
And then you're about to be really fucking not fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The waves of
this is tomorrow.
The emotions you're about
I am. Today's Angelo has no regard for tomorrow's Angelo at all. Zero regard for him.
But yeah, just watch the Saturday streams. We've got a lot of fun. We've been making a lot of money on the Saturday streams. So we appreciate you became a premium member. But if not, tune in those Saturday streams.
And I actually tried to get Jacob to not stream this Saturday so he can come hang out with me and the boys. The Saturday streams are completely independent of it. There are times where Jacob is live betting completely against his actual, like it's just you're hanging out, you're watching the fights live. Yeah, you're hanging out, watching the fights live.
Yeah, I mean,
good vibes, anything, good bets.
Angelo, we're doing anything to make money.
Settle down.
And we've been we do it not monetized, and we've taken the ads off as not monetized or anything. So no ads, no anything. I'm just doing it for the love of the people. We play monetized music, which Angelo kind of gives Angelo a bit of a panic attack, but
I get an alert every time you're done.
We do the copyright music, song requests, all that stuff. So we have a lot of fun. So tune in, hang out, get naked, bring your girlfriends, bring your wives, bring your boyfriends.
All right. After that, send us some mail. I've got some things over here. We've got some letters. And yes, right now I'm eating slop. But on Saturday, I'm going to be cooking some food. And I will be cooking whatever the hell is in that envelope. The recipe in that envelope, I will be cooking.
This is actually significant. This is like you tonight.
No guts, no glory. Yeah, if you can't plow some Taco Bell on stream and not get diarrhea by the end of it, what are we doing? Oh, is that a Cub Swanson shirt?
Yeah, bro.
He was your first ever favorite fighter before you really knew this sport at all.
This is an important card for me because if you ask me who my favorite fighter of all time is, most people would think I would say Ryan Hall, whatever, and it would be like as a funny pick. But I've always told Angelo it's been Cub Swanson. I fucking love fucking Cub Swanson. He's like everything that you want in a fighter. Like, I mean, he's going to go for it. A great boxer, can grapple as well, willing to put himself out there. He like signifies everything you want in a fighter. So Cub's my favorite, and I can't wait to see him. And I'm surprised at the odds. We'll break that fight down, but I'm surprised a little bit at the odds. And also just kind of relay this in too, because I don't know if you actually saw the beef that Tommy McMillan's having with that Magic guy, and then Crazy Kev as well, whatever.
Well, he inserted himself because that's what he does.
Right, yeah. I mean, Tommy's playing this well. Like, he's getting more and more eyes on it because he's beefing with, like, MMA Twitter people. Started with me and whatever, but me and him kind of made up because we ended up betting him, and he won us money. I was like, hey, nice job. But it's weird, the hate that he... Listen, it's pretty obvious that he's not, like, a top-level guy.
Yeah.
But and this is going to sound like, you're only saying that because... And I don't really give a shit, but, like, he fights in the way that we want fighters to fight. We want fighters to fight like he fought like that. Yeah, it was sloppy, and he probably should have been a big favorite, and he's probably not going to be a champion. But to, like, hate on this guy at this point is very weird because it's like that is how we're begging everybody to fight. We sat there on that same card watching Guillermo Pat and fucking Thomas the Train be like, why aren't these guys fucking... We want them to fight like fucking Tommy McMillan, so... I just to parlay that into a Cub, whatever. But yeah, Cub's my dude, and Tommy, he's not. I don't think he's very good, but we watched it be entertained, and he's gonna be fucking entertaining. I promise you that.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, even though he's emotionally, I would say, I don't know. I can't tell if it's all playing for fun. Into it. Yeah, I can't tell if it's all for fun or if he's just genuinely crashing it. Like,
I think he's being smart. I think it's part of his whatever, but I think he's being very smart about like trying to engage with anything and everything. Like hate or no hate or like, so they say no publicity is bad publicity. He's going after it.
And Chris Curtis like legit crashes out. I don't know if he's actually crashing out or just having some fun with it.
No, he's having fun with it. I could tell by the way he responded with me too. Like it wasn't serious. Like if he was actually raging out, he'd have been like, "No, fuck you," like But the second, like I was cool, he was cool with me. So I think it's just, I think he has a lot of fun with it, especially with Crazy Kev. I think he likes fucking with Crazy Kev.
That's the easiest target in the world. Every insult from him though is "you're broke, you're broke, you're broke."
Well, I mean, the guy did just win $100,000, so and most of the people are probably broke that he's talking to. So I mean, it's pretty justified.
Well, listen, here's the PO box. If you want to send something, we want picks. PO Box 406. Prosper, Texas, 75078. And the last little thing we got here, our pals at Hayabusa, our partners at Hayabusa, the highest quality
Amanda
training
Hibas
gear.
Is a Hayabusa athlete now.
There we go. Well, they sponsor UFC, BJJ, and obviously some other people, and they always take care of us. She's putting out ads
for them now, just like we are. We are one and the same.
They always take care of us. They almost used an ad of my daughter Olivia because I had Meta glasses and she was hitting mitts with Hayabusa gloves. And they were like, "This is sick," but I cover her face. And they're like, "Can we use this?" And at first I'm like, "I don't know. Let me talk to my wife." We don't usually show our kids' faces. And by the time we were like, you know what? If it's for an ad, like I don't show my kids' faces in my content, but if you're doing it,
if you're getting paid, you can exploit the shit out of them.
It wouldn't have been for money.
Nah, who cares? Not even for money. Let's exploit these bad boys.
Sure, her hands looked really good in the clip. So,
You're like Justin Bieber's dad. You're like Shia LaBeouf's dad. You see how they turned out.
Are they rich? Yeah, are they rich?
Well, not rich
with
dads. Mentality. I mean, their emotional
the
states
kids are a mess. But listen, they just came out with this new quick swap system. It's a base, and then obviously very clearly here you can swap the tops. You can start with a heavy bet. Well, I didn't know there was audio on this. I didn't know there was audio on that. You can swap. I didn't know there was audio on it. You can swap the top. You can go from heavy bag to a precision bag and then an even smaller precision bag. So
where are you in this?
I'm right. Where is it? Hold it. Right there.
That was you. That's you right there.
Yeah, that was no. The thicker hair, taller.
Okay, I'm right there. No.
There. That dude was red adjacent. No, but this stuff is sick. It's not cheap because nothing they make is cheap, but it's a nice little system here. You can put that anywhere you want.
It's value.
Good to go. Are you ready to break down this card? We have Pico's Barber in here throwing an absolute. This dude is here at 5:48 on a Tuesday screaming that we didn't immediately get to every pick and bet. Very busy man, this guy is. Unbelievably busy. I do recommend you find a woman.
Angelo's diabetic and he has to eat. Let's pump the fucking brakes. Get you another taco, Angelo.
Oh, next time you're talking, I'll attack. Here we go. Opening up the UFC 327 fight card. We have Charlie Radtke taking on Francisco Prado. Charlie Radtke, 11-5 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He is alternating wins and losses, taking on Francisco Prado, 12-4 in his career, 1-4 in his last 5, a 3-fight skid, really trying to find his footing in the UFC. And this is an interesting breakdown to me because I feel like this fight is much closer than these odds. Charlie Radtke, almost a 2-1 favorite here, started as more than a 2-1 favorite. He's been striking as of more as of late, but he is a grappler. He wants to shoot, take. Are you making fun of I accidentally misspoke? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, let's try to run that back if you don't mind. This is 327. This is the big leagues. A lot of views, a lot of new eyes, Angelo. Let's run that back.
Charlie Radtke, he's striking more as of late. He is typically a grappler and wants to shoot those doubles, run right through you, pretty active on the ground. He can fade as the fight goes on, but lately he's been more of a striker. His striking is okay. The technique is there-ish, but he kind of bombs away, looks for some heavy strikes, doesn't really set things up clean. He is incredibly tough. He does have some very real power, and he did just submit Daniel Frunza, taking on Francisco Prado. If you're just listening to the audio version of this and you don't have Spotify, just go get a Lego. That is he has a Lego head. It is the exact same shape, same dimensions, just at a much larger scale. What would you describe
your head shape as? Just wondering.
I actually have a very unfortunate head shape because up here is thicker. Oh, my headphone. Look at that. Up here is skinnier than down here. I'm all below the ears. That's the head. Are we done? You can't make fun of people for things they can't change. That is an official rule. Everybody knows that. You can dye your hair and not be a ginger. I can't change the shape of my head unless I go on steroids like Jason Giambi. Francisco Prado, the reason the head matters is this dude has a chin. He can take a big shot. He also bombs away. Big looping shots. He'll throw head kicks. Nice Muay Thai clinch. The power's okay, especially moving up in weight kind of diminishes a bit. He'll shoot some takedowns, a couple random slams, very explosive, incredibly dangerous, but he also tends to slow down. Third loss in a row, third decision in a row. And the reason he keeps ending up in these decisions is because he's very, very tough. The power's not really translating at this weight class. I actually think Francisco Prado's a lot better than people are giving him credit for. If we look here, the Tapology, only 14% of people have picked Prado to win this fight. I think this is crazy. I think this is far closer than that. I don't think this is 86. If they fought 100 times, you think Charlie Radtke wins 86 of them? I think this is a much closer fight because Charlie does tend to slow down. Francisco Prado is incredibly tough. A lot of people think he's won a couple of these unfortunate decisions that he didn't get. Charlie Radtke is going to be the pick here because I think he can switch between the striking and the wrestling, and frankly, size is going to matter in this matchup. But I'm not insanely confident in him, but I'm going to go ahead and hop aboard the Charlie Radtke train and pick him. What do you think, Jacob?
Blood, brother, bride. That's Chuck Buffalo. That is Chuck Buffalo. I like both these guys, okay? They both are former Lock of the Weeks. Chuck Buffalo, Francisco Prado. Here's how I see this fight. I think that Prado just got a little bit too... He's a talented kid. There's no doubt about that. And he is tough as fucking balls. But it feels like he just got a little bit too much, a little bit too soon. He's still young, 23 years old. I think a loss here would actually be better for him because they're probably going to let him go. He can kind of regroup himself, collect himself on the regionals, and then come back as a little bit more of a skilled guy. And I think he's got to dedicate himself to the 155 division. Now, Charles Radtke isn't like the biggest 170 fighter because he's a former 155, like a little like longer ago. That made any sense. Longer ago than Francisco Prado, but he is going to be the just kind of the thicker guy. Francisco Prado, I don't think he's ever going to be able to really compete at 170. I think in this fight, he's just going to be a step behind. Charles Radtke is a good technical striker, really nasty left hook. Francisco Prado at this point is kind of like a punching bag. I mean, he does have kind of slick move and slick boxing in the pocket, but defensively, he's still kind of lapsed there. And Charles Radtke's got real big power. And then you saw in his last fight, he is, as Angel mentioned, his base really is the wrestling and the grappling, and he dominated that fight from bell to bell, getting the finish in the third round. So, Francisco Prado in his last fight against Nikolai, or whatever the fuck his name was, in my opinion, got kind of lucky to kind of squeak that out. Nikolai was doing a lot of dumb shit, all that spinning stuff, and then Prado was taking advantage and get the takedowns. But I think Radtke should just be on another level. And although Radtke's kind of he was chinned against Mike Malott. Remember, he was kind of walking down Mike Malott. He got chinned a little bit versus Mike Malott, but I think Prado hasn't translated regional power into like real power in the UFC. So I don't think the power...
Not up in weight.
Yeah. I don't think the power of Prado is going to affect a guy like Radtke. And if he can't really hurt Radtke, I think Radtke's going to be all over with the striking and can even go to the wrestling and the grappling. So I'm pretty high on Chuck Buffalo this week. I know these guys pretty well. Usually my lock of the weeks, I have pretty dialed in on who they are as fighters. I like Prado, super well-rounded, tough son of a bitch. There's no doubt about that. But I just think he needs to kind of step away for a little bit, kind of regroup himself, and then come back. And he could be a guy in the future for sure. But I got to go with Chuck Buffalo here. Oh, by the way, too, did you not do the first super chats and stuff like that, like with Quint and
I forgot.
stuff?
I'll do them right.
I'll do them right now. Quint, Became a member for 18
months. Let's get through this and then do it.
I don't give a fuck.
You should. There's a cadence to all of this. Jacob and I both on the Radtke side. We don't have DraftKings fantasy pricing yet.
Sorry, guys.
This fight is brand.
Angel doesn't care about you. If you guys donate, I'll make sure it's red. Okay.
We do have. It's that stupid guy bitching that we didn't break down a fight yet. Got in my head. We do have bets on this fight. I personally placed a bet on this fight, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours ago. So if you want to check out every pick, every bet, every tool, it's freaking $10. $10. Not $100, not $150, not $10 an event, not $10 a week, $10 an entire month. We want picks.com. We do have some super chats. Let's take a look. Quint, a YouTube member. YouTube membership is different from premium membership for people that don't recognize that. Quint is a member for 18 months. My boy's actual birthday is this weekend, the day after UFC 327. Taking a few-hour drive to Miami on Saturday morning. I cannot wait. Join premium or die. Quint,
remember the old-timey people that would do this? What was that all about?
Hooray. Hooray. I don't know. But Quint, thank you for being here and have a happy birthday. I hope you
happy birthday, Quinty, baby. He's an OG.
Have you been to an event before? Also, I heard that UFC.
Oh, don't be stupid. Don't ask stupid questions. Come on.
I heard that UFC 327 is struggling to sell tickets. Like, there's a shit ton still available.
It's Miami. People always do stuff late.
I actually said that. I actually think my conspiracy theory is I think they moved the co-main event from here to 328 because of ticket sales. I don't think there was an injury on the Van side. They just said they moved it for Joshua Van. They never
did he have any injury?
No, nothing obvious.
When he was cornering.
Nothing obvious. His face was normal. Nothing on his hands. Nothing.
No limp.
Nope.
He wasn't limping. He was pimping.
And even if there was a real injury, that's a month away. Like, you moved it 1 month.
He tweaked an ankle. He tweaked the knee.
I think my random theory based off nothing. I think they moved it for ticket sales because they know they'll sell out 327.
The good news is that it was only moved because that could really push everything back because they need to delay this fight and Pantoja's already waiting for the next one. If it was like actual injury where it's like another 6 months or another whatever, at least it's a month, so it doesn't really slow things down as much.
No, and I think they needed it for the ticket sales at 328. 328 is a good main event. The rest of the card's not as good. Where this one's a decent card through and through, and Miami is a town that'll sell out no matter what. So that was my theory. $6.99 Canadian from Big Maple Bets. Are you getting fast food delivered to the P.O. box so Tiff doesn't find out? Shout to the gang who shared in prayer and profit on Saturday.
Ever since we turned our Lord or our kind of turned to the Lord on those Saturday streams, he's been blessing us, man. Even Moicano, he said, Jesus fucking Christ, man. Get on board. Get left behind.
Oh, that's right. He said it at the end. Yeah. Oh, he went. He said it
get on board and get left behind.
Yeah, definitely.
The aliens are here. Did you watch the Bob Lazar documentary yet?
No, of course not.
What do you mean? No, of course not with that tone. You need to lock the fuck in. That shit's real, dude.
I'm pretty locked in.
He's vindicated.
What I'm doing on the stream.
And I watched it all.
I don't even know who Bob Lazar is. This is the first time I've heard the name of my life.
Oh, God.
We don't have time
for your family's in danger.
We don't have time for a random Jacob offshoot rant here. $1.99 from Rye Dodger Beats 6074. Saturday streams are 100% simulator found monolo over 13.5 significant strikes. Well, that's awesome. I think he's talking about the fight simulator on the website. I personally do use it for significant strike line over and unders. I think it's spectacular at that. It's actually designed to build DraftKings fantasy lineups, but the developer made a few tweaks to give you the individual inputs along the way. So over 13.5 significant strikes. He must have gotten that in the first 40 seconds of that fight. So spectacular hit there. Thank you for the super chat. And finally, $10 from Gus B. Bussin. AO Ange WTF. Is it? I assume that's the way I bit that burrito before.
No, I think that was with the when the hat came off.
What the fuck, dude? What do you want from me? I'm 43 years old. No, I'm not 43. I'm 42. It's not horrific. I also have hat hair. And there's a tumor. This is a lump. This is a tumor that has to be removed. A giant fucking tumor. That
Pop it right now. I'll give you $100.
You have to cut them. You have to
cut it out right now. I'll get you $150.
I'm going to have to pay some lady probably $1,000 to do it.
So I'm saying you can be making money doing it.
Yeah, no thank you. Not going to happen. And then they probably got to shave my head. Next up, at UFC 327, we have a surprisingly early Kelvin Gastelum taking on Vicente Luque. This is the official fight order. Are you surprised this is this early on the card? Are they punishing them?
What a body on Kevin, man. I love it.
I saw
it's so meme. Just I can't stop. It's one of those. It's like a car crash. Like you can't stop staring at it. Like I don't want to look at it, but my God, look at that thing.
The funniest part is I saw a meme that was like him. I'm a UFC middleweight. And then it's like her, what she expected was Paulo Costa. What she got, Kelvin Gastelum. And it's just, he's a good looking dude, but yeah, neck down, very square. Very square. Especially when Paulo Costa is also in that same division for the most part.
Pot and kettle, huh?
Kelvin, no, I'm not a professional athlete. I'm a Taco Bell connoisseur. Kelvin Gastelum taking on Vicente Luque. Kelvin Gastelum 20-10 in his career. 20-10. 3-2 in his last 5. He is alternating wins and losses. Taking on Vicente Luque, 23-12 in his career, 2-3 in his last 5. He is riding back-to-back losses. Listen, Kelvin is a guy we've broken down a million times. The breakdowns literally never change. He has all the talent in the world, all the durability in the world, doesn't really have the work ethic. He's got a brick head.
Do you really just copy and paste that from your last Kelvin breakdown? Or do you rewrite it? I'm
not reading anything right now, but
whoa, Angie. That TB got you fired up, baby. Holy shit. That blood sugar spiking. This guy's going no teleprompter. Wow. W's in the chat.
Kelvin, all the talent, none of the dedication. He's one of the most unreliable fighters in the UFC because you just don't quite know what you're going to get. He's almost impossible to knock out, although as of lately, he's been getting rocked a little bit. He's got decent hands, good boxing. He's got very good wrestling and somehow good cardio. Like Kelvin doesn't slow down despite him constantly missing weight. He is coming off that bounce back win over Dustin Stoltzfus at Noche UFC. Taking on
Dustin
Stoltzfus. He's taking on Vicente. What are you eating? Listen, Taco Bell, kind of a reprehensible thing to eat on a stream. But is that just homemade garlic bread? That's more ridiculous, honestly.
Yeah, it's just garlic bread.
That's a little weird. That's worse than, Taco Bell's. Okay. Anyway, Vicente Luque. This guy's good everywhere. He's got very clean striking. He's got very clean jiu-jitsu. When he wants to wrestle, he can wrestle. He's pretty good literally everywhere, each individual MMA skill. And there was a period in time where that dude was heading to the moon doing everything possible. And then he got a brain bleed. Jeff Neal beat him so bad that his brain literally bled, and he has not been the same since. I don't think it's a direct reflection, but that was almost, not quite, that was almost his Tony Ferguson, Justin Gaethje moment, where the beating was so bad, he never fully recovered. And since that point in time, Vicente Luque has not really looked the way that he used to. You'll see flashes of like, wow, look what he did to Temba Garimbo, right? You'll see flashes of clean technique. You'll see flashes of clean grappling, but he can be broken now, which he wasn't able to be broken before. He can be outstruck. He can be outgrappled. He's just not who he used to be. He is coming off back-to-back losses. I get people not trusting Kelvin. He's one of the more impossible guys to trust. The guy had a literal vlog called Making Weight where he ate the exact same way that I just ate, but then he missed weight for his fight. He has missed weight at multiple weight classes. It's not even a guarantee he'll make weight here at 185.
Shut up, bitch.
But Kelvin
Shut the fuck up, you bitch.
But Kelvin will still be good enough to beat Vicente Luque. It's hard to sit here and say this is somebody I trust, but I actually can trust Kelvin in this matchup because even if he didn't train his ass off in this camp, even if he shows up relatively unprepared, he's going to be the more durable fighter. He's going to be the harder hitting fighter. He's going to be the much larger fighter. Vicente Luque is moving up to 185 for no reason whatsoever. And Kelvin Gastelum is just going to be probably better everywhere outside of just clean technique. Vicente will have the cleaner technique, but at his age, he's slowing down. He's getting beat up a little bit more. Kelvin's going to win. Kelvin's the pick. I don't hate these odds. And honestly, I think we're getting a discount because of his previous reliability issues. What do you think, Jacoby?
Yeah, I don't know who was kind of giving you that that talk on Kelvin, but I think Vicente is going to dominate this fight. Kelvin Gastelum just doesn't have what it takes at this point. I'm just fucking with you. Just waiting to see what kind of your reaction was, but you were pretty knuckle deep into that, whatever the fuck that was. So let me read a quote from Kelvin Gastelum, and if this doesn't get you fucking fired up, I don't know what will. Actually, Angelo, you know what? You alert me when you reach climax, because I know that you got a little bit on Kelvin this week. This is a big week for you and Kelvin. Both, are who you are.
We're very similar people.
Yeah. So you let me know when you reach climax as I read this quote. This is from Kelvin Gastelum 3 days ago on his Instagram. They say growth happens outside your comfort zone. For the last 4.5 months, I've lived that. I left my home in Arizona in December to find a version of myself I thought I'd lost. Back then, my fitness and weight were at an all-time low. Alongside Gav and the UFC PI team, we've embarked on a complete overhaul. This camp hasn't just been about training. It's been about science, discipline, and rediscovering my peak. I'm hitting numbers I haven't seen in years. Being away from, excuse me, God.
I don't know why you're throwing out a random Southern accent halfway through this thing. He's Hispanic, and
Lock
you didn't start
in.
with it.
Lock it in. Being away from home this long is tough, but the squirrel meat's gotten me through. The mission is bigger than my. The mission is bigger than my comfort, as Kobe said. Job's not finished. Miami, I'm ready. That was a quote from Kelvin Gastelum. Listen, Vicente Luque at his peak, at firing on all cylinders, can beat it. I think almost anybody in this division. He's got power. He's shown toughness before. He's got wrestling. He's got grappling. But Vicente Luque, he ain't got it right there. He just ain't got it right there. You saw it in that Buckley fight or whatever. He just kind of turtled up, and everyone's like, "What's going on?" He admitted, I just wasn't quite there. I don't know what that was. And then against Joel in his last fight, the same thing happens. He gets his eye. They thought it was an eye poke. It should have been a KO. He keeps fighting. His eye's a little bit fucked up. Second round again, he's trying to pull guard. He's just laying there. He goes to his corner, and he's telling his corner, like, "I don't know if I could do this." Like, you could tell he wanted an out right there. And his corner didn't let him quit, but he was trying to get out of that fight after the second round. Went into the third round, just laid there again. Joel, actually, you could tell, kind of felt bad. I mean, he had, a mounted triangle and, was elbowing him, in the side, and then just kind of stopped and was just kind of laying there because I think he felt bad for Vicente Luque. He seems like a great dude. He is boys with Gregory Rodriguez, who's looked fantastic. They trained together. Now he's at 185. Maybe that's going to make a mental difference, but this feels like Kelvin's going to be the faster striker. He's got power. He's never fucking quit in a fight. He seems like he's completely locked in. And I do worry a little bit maybe that this turns into Vicente's going all in on the wrestling and he's able to get some takedowns. But I don't see him controlling Kelvin as much as a Sean Brady did. Kelvin was kind of cutting weight at 170. I just don't think he had that same kind of pop and strength that he's going to have here to defend kind of the wrestling of Vicente that won't be as fast, I don't think, as a Sean Brady takedown anyway. So that's the only thing I would worry about a little bit. But, when it comes to this fight, I think Kelvin's going to be faster on the feet, more powerful, and once Vicente starts getting lit up, I think the same thing's going to happen. You're going to see him kind of wilt to it, and we could see, I think Kelvin's live for a finish in this one, but I really think that this is a pretty good matchup for him.
Yeah, and you can see the stats here. Kelvin's literally the smaller of the two. He will be the bigger fighter. When you see them next to each other, he will just be the bigger human being, and I think that matters. Kelvin was also a Division I wrestler. Now, we haven't seen a ton of that, and he has been out wrestled before.
It was funny that after he got mauled by Sean Brady, the next fight against D-Rod, he's like, okay, let me show him. Let me show him I can wrestle.
Remind people.
Yeah, let me just make sure everyone knows I can wrestle.
He was a Division I wrestler. It's not just a guy that's okay at wrestling. He wrestled at a good team and did pretty well. So, yeah, I love Kelvin here, and he is one of the most unreliable people in the UFC. And not even the most unreliable person on this card. This card is loaded with several unreliable fighters. He's one of them, but Of the
and I even had a
I was saying of the three, he's the most trustworthy, and a lot of it has to do with his opponent.
Right. And his mentality. I mean, Kelvin's lost fights, but it's never for really lack of trying. Sometimes he's just been up against
He just doesn't try leading up to the scale. But once he's in that cage, he's getting after it.
Right. And I was a hater last time. Dustin Stoltzfus was my lock of the week for that fight, and he fucking lit up Dustin Stoltzfus, who's a pretty nice and tight Muay Thai striker, and handled his own in the grappling as well. So.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting fight. I'm shocked how early it is in the card because there's some name value between the two of them. Maybe they're trying to get some people in the arena, but and Vicente's the quote unquote local guy here, so it'll be interesting to see if he gets the crowd on his side. But how is that racist? He trains in Florida and lives in Florida. Explain to me how it's racist saying he's a local guy.
If I have to explain it, you'll never understand it.
Yeah,
you got to see.
If you don't know what it is, you can't afford it.
You couldn't see the forest through the trees, Angelo.
That's me. Unlock every pick, every bet, every tool. I got a bet on this fight as well. We have a lot of bets on the board, and you can tell people are treading lightly. Our cappers at WeWantPicks.com because we got a lot of bets on the board. None of them too crazy. A lot of them are very straightforward, either simple parlays, money lines. Nothing outlandish just yet, but I know how this week's going to go. Check out every pick, every bet, every tool. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. It's freaking $10 to unlock the world.
If you, just real quick, if you had to eliminate one country from Earth, would it be Mexico or Brazil?
It wouldn't be either one of those. I do have one in mind. I will not say it on stream. Envy, $1.99 live at 3:35 Pacific Standard Time is crazy. Shout out to the We Want Picks boys. Thank you, Envy. Yeah, my daughters have volleyball practice on Tuesdays from 5:45 to 7:45. So we're trying to go live at 5:30 and do this whole stream while they're gone. The house is quiet. The kids aren't here. We do it nice and early so we can get the Pacific. We also, first of all, our views during these streams are really good. And I realize it's because we're also getting foreigners as well. Because we got comments in the last video. Well, because in America, we're dealing with the three time zones. And we're right smack in the middle. But there's people that were commenting on the last video like, oh, I live here. I live there. It was great to catch a live stream. I don't usually get to watch one. So it's like, yeah, I get it. If you're not from here, you're a foreigner. That's not an insult.
Whoa!
How is that? How are you going to twist that into being something horrible?
Holy shit.
How could you twist that into a negative term?
Oh my God.
That's like in the episode of The Office.
The way you say it.
That's like the episode of The Office where Oscar says he's Mexican and Michael Scott's like, is there a nicer word for that? That's the same. You're doing the same thing. Next up at UFC 327, we have another new fight added to the card. We have MarQuel Mederos taking on Chris Wartaco Padilla. MarQuel Mederos 11-1 in his career, 5-0 in his last 5 on a 9-fight win streak, taking on Chris Taco Padilla, 17-6 in his career, 5-0 in his last 5 on a 7-fight win streak. This is a brand new fight in the card, so we don't have DraftKings fantasy pricing yet, but we do have odds, and they've moved a good amount. Chris Padilla opened up as an okay favorite, and now he's almost a 2-1 favorite here, and I can understand the love coming on him. But MarQuel Mederos is a very good fighter. He's a good striker. He strings together combinations well. He throws up some volume. He's insanely comfortable in his fights. He's never panicking. He's never stressed. He's just comfortable, hits a flow, and starts working. Primarily a striker, but he can grapple as well. Some slick takedowns, good takedown defense, good submissions as well. Very athletic, high fight IQ, and he did just come off that very one-sided win over Mark Chonsky, taking on Chris Wartaco Padilla. He's a well-rounded guy himself. He's going to come forward, briefly strike, move to a clinch, work for a takedown. Nothing he does is spectacular, right? He's not a phenomenal striker.
Just shut up, dude.
He's not a phenomenal grappler. He's not a phenomenal wrestler, but he is
because he's Mexican, right?
But he is unbelievably tough. That's the American flag. He is unbelievably tough. He will move forward. He will grind, and his pressure is going to break a lot of people that might have better individual skills. He just came off that incredibly impressive win over Ismael Bonfim, which is a perfect example. Bonfim is probably the better athlete, more skilled in individual components, but Chris literally moved forward and broke him. The cardio was there. He just came forward, not a care in the world. didn't take a step back and won that fight. And I think that's what we end up with here, because MarQuel was very impressive in his last fight. His leg kicks were there. The composure was great. All around looked fantastic.
Against who?
Mark Chonsky, future world champion. And I think Chris just stays in his face.
Wasn't he fully mounted in the third round just trying to survive versus that guy?
I am picking Chris here. I don't know what's happening right now. I think Chris takes away all the space, gives MarQuel no room to breathe whatsoever. If you go back and watch MarQuel versus Austin Hubbard, Austin's pressure gave him a little bit of a hard time. Chris Padilla has 5 times the pressure, so Chris is going to be the pick here. I understand the line movement, but I'm a little worried here because MarQuel's actually good. This isn't Chris fighting a bum, and we haven't seen MarQuel quit like a Bonfim. Like, MarQuel's legit good, but I'm going with Padilla here. Who do you think wins, Jacob?
Yeah, I have nothing against MarQuel. MarQuel's a very talented dude. He's a former Factory X guy, now at, I think, MMA Lab or whatever in Arizona. Very, very talented guy. He can strike. He can switch stances. He fights like Youssef, basically. Like, he'll go left, he'll go right, he'll switch stances, he'll mix in takedowns, he'll throw kicks, he'll throw his hands. He is very, very talented, but I just don't think he has anything... Almost like you said about like Taco Padilla. Like you said, he's good at everything, but nothing really like jumps out or whatever. I think that sums up MarQuel. He doesn't have crazy power. He doesn't have dominant wrestling, but he can do both things. He is somewhat durable. He's got somewhat speed, and he's gonna beat people that he should beat. And his schedule has worked out really nice for him to keep going in the UFC and collecting those checks, because I mean he fought Landon Quinones, right? Then he's supposed to fight Nazim, which I think Nazim would have ran through him. That gets canceled. He's supposed to fight Evan Elder then, which I think Evan Elder would kind of run through him. That gets canceled. Now he's fighting like an Austin Hubbard. Goes to a split decision. It's up at elevation. It is what it is. He showed up out some toughness and some heart in that fight. Then he's supposed to fight Beloji Oki, which I think is a very interesting fight. That gets canceled. Now he's fighting Mark fucking Chonsky. But in this situation, he's supposed to fight Nazim again, canceled again. Now he runs into Taco Padilla. When I was watching tape on this fight, just to kind of refresh myself, because I'm pretty familiar, definitely with Taco. I was on Taco before anybody knew who fucking Taco was. Taco's my fucking dog. I love fucking Taco, and I am going to pick him for this fight. But when I was watching this, I was thinking to myself, damn, I think this is the easiest fight. Not that it's an easy fight, but I think this is the easiest fight Chris has had since he's been in the UFC, like Rong Zhu and Jai Herbert and the Bonfim brothers. And it feels like this is one of and the odds reflect that. I mean, he was an underdog or almost a underdog in every single fight. So the odds agree with me, and I agree with the odds in this fight. I just think Taco can put that pressure on him. MarQuel's going to be cocky, confident, fast, quick, early. He's going to look good, but I promise you, as Angel mentioned, that pressure from Chris Padilla, just that high guard, walk him down, landing shots, it's going to break this guy. And I don't know if we're going to get a finish, but I think the Taco finish, second and third round, is going to be definitely live against MarQuel. So super talented kid. He's going to be a lot of people, but I think this is a bad matchup for MarQuel Mederos, and I'm going with my boy Taco to get it done.
Yeah, I'm on the Taco side as well. It is funny to see the love come in on Taco, because people did not appreciate him when he first came on board. It was like, oh, this, because his record's not great. He's on a nice win streak here in the UFC, but when he came to the UFC, he did not have as impressive of a record. And it was like, what? Who is this guy? He's losing on the regional scene. He's coming in here, and we saw exactly who he was. He's got a couple tough matchups. He's worked through some adversity, and he just grinds forward.
He's got that mentality, man. There's some fighters that like talk about it, but they don't be about it and all this type of stuff. I promise you, this dude is more locked in than you think your favorite fighter's locked in. Like, you want to talk about people locked in, like an Ilya Taporia and stuff like that. I mean, Taco, I think that he is as locked in as kind of all those people. He lives, breathes, and eats tacos.
What's funny is somebody commented MarQuel Mederos is too zesty to win. Are people not familiar with Michael Morales? Is that somebody that we've already forgotten about? Because they were doing that last week, and obviously they were right with Monolo. Like, he ended up losing. But there was like a sketchy picture of him floating around. People were like, no way, this guy wins. It's like Michael Morales is in like a beautiful dress, a real tight dress, prancing around. And he's beating the shit out of people. Like, gone are the days where you need to be the manliest man that's ever existed to win a fist fight.
You support the trans community?
Same with Peyton Talbot. That dude's getting after it. Outside of that one time he fought a 40-year-old who knew how to wrestle.
When's the last time you tucked your sack back, Angelo?
You mean did a fruit basket? Because that's what it's called. It's a fruit basket. The last time I did a fruit basket was like, I don't know, a very, very long time ago. When I walked into the bathroom of this New Jersey, I forget what the bar was. We were in Hoboken, Jersey. A bunch of us were there right after college. And I walked in.
A bunch of us, you mean you and a bunch of girls, and you were all hanging out? And
we had boys, we had girls, everybody was there.
Oh, so there was guys and stuff. Okay.
I walk in, and my buddy is standing at the urinal peeing backwards out of a fruit basket, and I was dying laughing. So that's the last fruit basket I saw. I don't recall ever doing one, but that was a hilarious thing.
You tell me you've never tucked your sack back, Angelo?
I don't think I've ever done a fruit basket. No. Have you?
You never lived. Yeah, you never lived.
When was the last time you did?
Once, just to check it out, just to see. Whoa!
I don't think I could open my legs wide enough to shove things through.
What?
There's a lot to work through to push back. I think I'm too.
You got too big of balls. You're one of those guys. All balls.
All of it. The whole thing. It's just a whole. It's a whole thing, guys.
Hold up your hands and let me see.
These are my hands. Big man hands.
No, I meant. Tell me when to stop.
Here, hold on. Here.
No, tell me when to stop. Tell me when to stop. Okay.
Stop. Yeah. Yeah, and the camera, Guys, WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. Every pick, every bet, every tool. Quite the service. Okay. Don't let any physical descriptions scare you away. Okay. Quite the service. Because I'm not out here slinging meat. I'm grinding, working, trying to find spots, trying to find bets for you people. And we do have. I have a bet on this fight as well.
We got a couple people of color on the screen, and now you're throwing out a you people.
I'm not finding bets for them. They're not allowed to. It's against UFC policy.
What?
The people on the screen, Jacob. I'm talking about.
What do you mean they're not allowed to? What kind of buildings are you going into?
You show me a UFC fighter betting on fights, and I'll show you somebody violating.
Oh, that's what you meant.
These rules. Yes.
Oh.
WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. We have a $4.99 super chat from American Darter. What's good, OG, triple OGs? Jacob makes me millions every weekend, and you chumps ain't got premium yet. We making money now. I appreciate you. No. Once you say it, I'll remember. What was it?
Next Lennon.
That's right, the next Lennon. I knew it was an OG. I just forgetting the. Why'd you change your name? Just leave it, man. You didn't even get American Darter. You had to add a 1. Go back to the next Lennon. But we appreciate the super chat. We appreciate you being here, and we appreciate the premium plug. So thank you very much.
Why do you hate America? His name is American Darter. I mean,
he could just be a darter. Why is it always America this, America that? I'm obviously kidding. I'm very American. See, that's the thing. My family.
He's panicking now.
No, my family chose to be here. Everybody else was born here, not a choice.
Whoa.
My family chose to be here. They love this country so much, and they instilled those values in us. I used to grow up, my grandfather barely spoke English, but he would say green money's the best money, because in Italy it's not green, but here it's green. In America, our family chose to be here. My mom took a fucking boat here, an actual boat. Not
Holy
the Titanic,
shit.
but a different boat. She took a boat to be here.
The Pinta or the Santa Maria?
First of all, it was Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria.
Oh.
Second of all, that was Pilgrims.
You would know.
That was Pilgrims. I would know. The Northeast, baby. Plymouth Rock. Next up, at UFC 327, we have Tatiana Suarez taking on Lupita Godinez in what might be a grappler's delight or one of the worst fights we've ever seen in our entire lives. We got Tatiana Suarez 11-1 in her career, 4-1 in her last 5. She is coming off of that bounce back wrestling win, which was anything but exciting. Taking on Lupita Godinez, 14-4 in her career, 3-2 in her last 5. She is on a 2-fight win streak. Tatiana Suarez is a dominant wrestler. That's it. That breakdown could just stop right there. The striking's not spectacular. She obviously does have some very good grappling and jiu-jitsu as well, but she is a wrestler. Accomplishment-wise, accolade-wise, probably the best female wrestler on the roster right now, and maybe ever.
She was the best female wrestler in America at one point.
Yeah, and literally think of the best wrestlers in the UFC, she's beaten them already. Like, she is a phenomenal wrestler. The problem is,
she fuck you up?
She's too small.
Attaboy.
Like, because I also,
Stay strong, baby.
If I never wrestled a day in my life, then
tell her you would beat that bitch's ass.
She's not going to out wrestle me when I'm this much bigger and I know how to wrestle. If we were the exact same size, different story. I'll never forget.
Why are you so eager to hit a woman?
We're talking about wrestling. Who's talking about hitting? I'll never forget. We had a wrestling tournament in Ludlow, Massachusetts. No, it was Keene, New Hampshire. And I was in the semifinals, and my entire team sat around the mat, but on the other side of it, rooting for the girl I was wrestling. I'm 215, and I'm wrestling a 215-pound girl from Keene, New Hampshire, and they're all cheering for her because they want to see me get smoked by a girl.
You were sexually assaulting a female in high school?
No, I already won my semifinals match to go to the finals. They were on her mat rooting for her to meet me in the finals. She lost, so it didn't come down to that.
Would you have done it?
It would have been terrifying. No, not sexually assault. I wrestled. It would have been terrifying.
I know. Would you have wrestled her?
I would have had to. I've never wrestled.
That was probably the first time you would have ever touched a woman.
That would have been brutal. Because if she made it to the this is senior year of high school.
Yeah, you've never even touched a woman yet. You barely even look at them.
If she made it to the finals, then clearly
you're busting out your leotard. You touching a woman, especially a thick woman like that.
Just walking all
at that age.
All right. Anyway, guys, come on, pay attention. Tatiana hasn't evolved the other skills, so everybody knows what to expect. There's takedowns coming. If I can defend the takedowns, I can make some stuff happen. And Lupita might be able to defend the takedowns because she's a very good wrestler in her own right. Her sister was on the Canadian Olympic wrestling team. Lupita Godinez is a very good wrestler with very good hands, clean boxing, fast, has all of the tools. Skill for skill, Lupita Godinez could be a literal world champion. She could probably be the world champion of this weight class right now if she just locked in and made the right decisions inside of fights. The fights that she's losing is because she's doing dumb shit, and that is kind of the problem. She did just beat Jessica Andrade, but she went 1 for 14 in takedown attempts. If you watch that fight, they weren't full-blown takedown attempts, just kind of like throw, half grab the leg, a little resistance, let me back out of that. The reality is, though, this is a very important matchup for this weight class because Tatiana Suarez did just come off a win after that one-sided title loss. Luque is always in the conversation as one of the better women on the planet, but finds herself in a big opportunity and then just does dumb shit. She was beating Mackenzie Dern and should have beat her, did dumb shit. She was beating Verna Jandiroba, should have beat her, did dumb shit. And that's the problem. I want to pick Luque. I absolutely want to pick Luque here. I think she's definitely the better overall fighter, and I think her wrestling defense might be good enough to stay in her feet. Tatiana struggled with Amanda Lemos. The problem is I can't trust Luque to not engage in the wrestling. I have a feeling she will try to wrestle, and Tatiana will out-scramble her. That's all Tatiana wants is a scramble, and I think she'll out-scramble her. So I'm going to pick Tatiana here. I'm not touching it. Luque is very good. Tatiana is a spectacular wrestler. I can't possibly pick against her when I can't trust that Luque won't wrestle. You want to hear the analogy I put in my quick picks?
Give me just a second. Okay.
It wasn't an analogy, actually. I said, but until I see footage of Luque at a Kumon tutoring center, the pick has to be Tatiana Suarez. It's a kind of a banger.
What?
Kind of a banger.
I don't even know what the fuck that means.
Well, then you need to go to a
Kumon.
Then you need to go to it as well. Okay.
A Kumon? What is it?
You know what I said, and if you don't, you need to Google it, find it, and go there to learn. Who do you think wins this fight?
But literally, I don't know what that is. Can you explain what that is?
Kumon Tutoring Center. They're like the nation's largest after-school tutoring centers. Come on.
Why the fuck would I know that?
Clearly. You could have used a little extra help.
Jesus Christ.
What do you think wins this fight?
Here's the stat. Okay, random fact. I put it on Twitter. You can follow me on X. The green line test. Many have imitated. Nobody's been duplicating it. I've gotten the last 7 main event rights. Main event right.
Yeah. Who needs tutoring?
Men, right.
Who needs it? Right. He's got the last main rights. Who's going to win this main?
This isn't the main event, Angelo.
Exactly. So why the hell are you talking about that? How about we talk about
this? Sometimes your tone hurts my feelings.
Tiffany says the same thing.
And then sometimes you got to start. You're laughing, huh? Laughing at domestic violence, Angelo?
Can we break down this fight for Christ's sake?
Random fact, Luque Godinez is 2-4 when taken down at least once in a fight. Her wins are versus Loma Lugbumi and a split win versus Cynthia Calvillo. Rest in peace, Cynthia. I love Cynthia. She's not dead, but she doesn't have a career anymore. And she's 0-2 when taken down 2 times. That's versus Verna and the aforementioned, big word there, Mackenzie Dern. Tatiana has taken down every single UFC opponent. We were at that fight with Tatiana Suarez in the Manor Lemos up in the hospitality. That was more of a let's go to the hospitality and get some food type of fight, and thank God we did. But I remember just glancing up at the thing because I had a bet on Tatiana. I don't know if you did as well. It seemed like it should have been a pretty cut and dry. Manor Lemos can be taken down, so just fucking take her down. And I remember just being in the hospitality room of that fight, just eating and just looking up and then eating, looking up and looking at you, and then the scorecards are coming and looking at you and being like, Tatiana won that fight, right? I think she won. She did just enough, and I don't know if you remember, at the end of the third round, on her back, looking desperate, she definitely didn't look how she should have looked, and everyone always tries to make the connection for good reason. I mean, her husband or whatever is Patchy Mix, and we know the fucking Patchy Mix fraudulent, one of the most fraudulent guys I've ever seen in my fucking life. Even went to where'd he go? Japan and lost a fight.
He was got knocked out by a 22-year-old.
Just got fucking smoked when I think Patchy was even a big favorite then, but I can't remember. But anyway, that is her boyfriend or husband at this point. I don't fucking know. I don't keep up with that stuff. But she is a really good wrestler. And she will always continue to try to wrestle, even in that Wei Li fight. She kept trying. In that Lemos fight, she was doing enough to get the takedowns. And as you mentioned, Lupe, I was talking about Lupe when we first started these podcasts. I was the one talking about Lupe, being like, you guys don't understand how good this girl is. She could wrestle. She's improving her boxing. She can do everything. She has world champion potential. And every time there's that call to duty, she seems to always fail that test. Now, she is tough. Even if Tatiana gets the takedowns, we saw Mackenzie Dern on a full mount on Lupe, and she survived. So I don't think this is a situation where Tatiana's just going to take her down to submit her. She knows what she's doing on the ground and stuff, but I agree I just feel like she's either going to try to offensive wrestle. If she's getting wrestled, she might try to counter wrestle instead of getting the fuck away. You're the better boxer. Lupe's the better boxer, defend the takedowns, but Tatiana does have pretty good takedowns, and she'll work against the fence. She's open mat takedowns, sit you down, climb over takedowns, work you against the fence, do it the single, switch to a double. She's got them all in the bag. She's not a one-trick pony. She can go to plan B, plan C, plan...
Go to that Kumon, man. I think there's definitely
How much is it? Do you know how much it is? Do you have a flyer? Do you have a pamphlet? I'd love a pamphlet just to look. I mean, I don't know. I got to go Tatiana here because I just think that she's going to get the takedowns. And, I mean, people that like Lupe, listen, there's some people that see Lupe and see the value, and I get it. But me and Angela, we've played the Lupe game too many times. Too many times. And I told you guys that Julia Pilastri was going to have some real good success versus Lupe, and she did. She slows down too, and it seems like as she slows down, the decision-making gets worse and worse. So definitely tough, definitely good. I get the value, but I think Tatiana is going to get the takedowns.
Yeah, and it is tricky. I see a lot of people, I don't want to say spamming, that implies whatever. A lot of people have said plus 3.5 for Lupe. It's minus 260. Do you really trust Lupe enough at minus 260 that she will win one round on all 3 judges' scorecards? All 3? You have to trust all 3 of these people to do a round? Minus 260 is not quite worth it to me. Not. If it was minus 150, okay, I do think she can win a round. I especially in this era where wrestling isn't as important anymore. But this isn't in Vegas. It's in Miami. There's a lot of weird shit that could happen here. Tatiana's going to be the pick. The over is the only safe bet in this fight, in my opinion, because
just give me the light
on past the jaw.
Just give me the light.
How are we getting to Jamaican music?
What?
What is it?
That's Sean Paul.
Okay. And where's he from?
Miami.
No, he's not. Oh,
Sean Paul. Come on, give it to. Come on, give it to.
Who fakes the accent? Is it him?
Excuse me? Whoa.
No, is it Sean Paul? Somebody fakes it. And they're very open about it. Sean Paul. No, it's not Sean Paul. Who is it? Name another one.
Pitbull. Mr. Worldwide.
No, give me another same type music. Oh, Shaggy.
DJ Khaled.
I think Shaggy's is fake. Shaggy accent.
Yeah, he doesn't talk like this. You've been something in the shower. Follow me. In the bowl.
Yeah. It is fake. It is. Yeah, Shaggy's the one that's not a real accent. Anyway, WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. We do have bets on this fight. There's another fight I have a bet on. I promise you I didn't pick a side. There's your bet. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. It's $10 for an entire month's worth of access. A whole last month. You get UFC 327, UFC Winnipeg, Vegas 116, and then UFC Perth for $10. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. People don't believe me with the Shaggy thing. I didn't know either until I literally saw an interview of him talking normal. And then they asked him, how'd you come up with the accent? And then he just literally explained the fake accent and how he came up with it. So, yeah, stolen valor for sure. Next up.
What's the wildest accent you can do?
I can't really do accents that well. I can do
an Italian. You're Italian.
I can't do like an Italian accent. I could just imitate my family members when I'm around them.
So do it.
And I was around them all last week for Easter. I don't know. Dude, actually, here, I have a quick Easter story for you. I'm not going to do an accent. I'll do it so quick. At Easter, Italians eat something called pizza rustica. It's like a pizza pie, or sorry, an Easter pie.
Food themed story. Settle in, guys.
It's got cheese.
Are you done with all those tacos, by the way?
Yes.
They're all gone?
Relax.
It's all gone?
It has cheese, like salami, like it's a delicious, it's a pie. You can eat it hot or cold. It's very, very, very good. And my mother gave Tiffany the recipe like 5 years ago because Tiff liked it and whatever, right? We weren't going to see my family for Easter. So Tiffany would make it every year and it was delicious. I loved it. I gobbled it up every year. I'm the only one who would eat it. She would eat it too, but others are like, what is this? Then we're at my mother's house for Easter this weekend, and there's a pizza rustica on the table, but it's more like bread. It's like fluffy and airy, not like how Tiffany makes it. So I said, who makes this? Who makes this? And then my uncle goes, I'd make a why? I make a. And I was like, why is it like this? It's not pie. She goes, it's always like this. You don't do no pie. And then my mom's like, yeah, it's like that. There's no pie. What are you talking about? And I was like, the recipe you gave Tiffany specifically called for pie crust. And my mom's like, no, never. We've always made it like this. Never. Tiffany goes into Google Photos, pulls up the screenshot text that my mom sent her with the recipe, and it said pie crust. My mom sabotaged Tiffany. Didn't want her to have the good recipe. Sabotaged her ass.
Holy fuck, man. I can't believe that. Holy shit, bro. Holy fuck.
Agreed.
You were going one way, and I'm like, holy shit. There's no way he's gonna have a little twist of this story like that. And I was like, holy fuck. I bet he's gonna talk about like there's something else with it. And then you were like, whoa. And I was like, no fucking way. He went that way with it. JXX holy shit.
Said, Angelo, you charged me $20 for We Want Picks last year. The only time
Did you write Project Hail Mary, bro? Did you I'll be honest with you. Did you help write that movie? Because your storytelling is like off the charts, man.
The only time anybody would ever be charged $20 is if you have a failed payment and then the next month you have enough money and the payment goes through. So it'll say, oh, you didn't pay for last month, so I'm taking last month's and this month. That's how the system works.
Did you read that whole thing or no?
I did not read every word.
People are giving their hard-earned money. You can't read the donations?
Yeah, I literally cannot, unfortunately. So
I'll read it. Put it back up. I'll read it. Come on.
Okay.
Everyone ready?
Where is it? Please hold. I got to find it now because it wasn't a super chat. It's gone. It's not gone, but I can't find it. So if you were charged $20, that's why. Because you had a failed payment and the system was catching back up. And we do have a $4.99 super chat from Unwell to Brrr. Just got my settlement check from a work injury. Putting
Hell yeah, America.
Safety parlay.
America,
Let's
bro.
get this money, boys. I don't know, man. I don't. Jesus. Hopefully you're physically okay. All right. Hopefully you're okay.
Hopefully that was a 2-comma settlement check. You know what I
mean? Hopefully you're okay and you can continue to work. And the settlement check isn't what's going to get you through. Next up at UFC 327, we have Mateusz Gamrot taking on Esteban Ribovics. Mateusz Gamrot 25-4 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He is coming off that submission loss to Charles Oliveira, taking on Esteban Ribovics, 15-2 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that bounce back win over Elves Brenner. We've broken down Mateusz Gamrot many, many times. A busy wrestler. The striking is decent, diverse set of attacks. The technical skills are there with the striking, but there's no real power whatsoever. He also, you're distracting the absolute shit out of me.
I'm telling him to go long.
Who's him?
He knows who he is. Everyone get the fuck out of the way. Yeah, you. Go.
Mateusz Gamrot has the technical striking. He has no real power. He also doesn't have much of a chin. He does get dropped in the vast majority of his fights, literally half of them. He has 12 UFC fights. He's been dropped 6 times. But he's an incredible wrestler, nonstop cardio. He'll shoot takedown after takedown after takedown. He will shoot, he will reshoot, and he just never stops coming and looking for those takedowns. He's taking on Esteban Ribovics. Very good fighter. He's good everywhere. Impressive striker, sneaky power. The strikes are tight. They're short. They're accurate. He's got this high, tight guard where he works forward, then he picks his shots. And despite a lot of impressive knockout highlights, he's not just a striker. He's got good takedowns, solid BJJ. He'll shoot clean doubles. He's got upper body trips. He will get you to the ground, then immediately look to snatch something up. He did just beat Elves Brother in a fight where he defended 9 takedowns. This breakdown's a very straightforward breakdown. You either think Gamrot gets the takedowns or you don't. Like, that's it. That is the only part of the equation here, because Mateusz cannot hang in the striking in this fight. There's just no way. He's nowhere near levels of Esteban Ribovics.
He's actually pretty underrated. Not that I disagree, but I think
his technical striking skills absolutely are there. His hands are doing what they're supposed to do. They're going the right places, but there's no real power. There's no danger, and he gets a little chinny. So if he's just going strike for strike and doesn't wrestle with somebody like Esteban's going to land clean, dot him up, like tag the shit out of him. And when you get somebody as orthodox and predictable as Gamrot, somebody like Esteban is going to time that immediately. So it comes down to, do you think Gamrot gets the takedowns? And if we go back to Esteban's last loss, that was a problem. He was taken down by Luque Radzhabov 11 times. 11 times. That's why he lost that fight. But he knocked down Luque. He stole around, and he did all of that in 2023. When wrestling mattered more to the judges, and he wasn't quite the fighter he is today. So I think this could look very similar to Gamrot versus Dan Hooker, where a good majority of the takedowns are defended. He's letting his hands go. He's the better striker. He's having fun with it. And you know how this goes. Like, as the fight goes on and you're shooting takedowns and you're not getting them, that looks desperate, and it doesn't look good, and the judges aren't going to like it. Esteban Ribovics is an absolute dog. He is the pick. I even bet on him here as the dog, just a tiny bit, because I'm somewhat of a coward. But I think Ribovics gets it done. I think we're done with a lot of these insanely dominant wrestlers who don't offer any danger on the feet. Because if there's not danger, if you don't have to worry about getting knocked out by Gamrot, you can just let your hands go and do whatever the hell you want to do. And I think that's what happens here. I'm going to pick Esteban Ribovics. What do you think, Jacob?
Jake the loser said, guys, my ex-girlfriend just told me to die. Please win me money this week. If you DM me her contact information, I will get her pregnant and leave her and ruin her life for you, Jake. I will fucking impregnate her and leave her with the kid, and I think I'm due for twins, and just leave her to fucking rot. That's the things I'm doing for the community, Angelo. Here's my question. Here's my issue with a Gamrot, and it's almost the same thing. Like, it's like Evloev. Like, these guys are teammates and stuff, but I don't understand how somebody can be so dominant in the wrestling and so fucking bad at, like, the controlled jiu-jitsu, like, throw hooks in. Like, Evloev is the reason why like an Evloev and a Gamrot are constantly like taking Pico down and they have like no control. Like, and yeah, they can win scrambles and they'll chain wrestle and they'll fucking, you go up and then you go down and then you try to scramble, but they stay on top. But it's so wild that these guys are so good at the wrestling aspect, but are so bad at the fucking jiu-jitsu. I think Esteban is like the better, like, kind of jiu-jitsu guy. You saw in the Loic fight, even in that Quamela Kirk fight, he was like Mr. Kimura, like, take him down, but he's gonna grab that Kimura and fucking try to rip your arm off and use it to sweep with that nice fucking Kimura. And in this fight, I hope he understands that shit's probably not going to work with Gamrot. And I think he does. Like, his scrambling abilities, before it was, okay, I'm getting taken down, but I can go to my back and I can use a Kimura and scramble back up to my feet.
Like that?
What?
Why are you saying it like that?
I'm saying it like what?
Kimura.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. No, I must be hearing things.
So instead of doing stuff like that, he seems like he has much more urgency with different type of positions, but also just defending the initial takedowns. Like, his scrambling abilities have gotten better and better and just defending the takedown. And he's at fucking not Fortis, it's fucking Killcliff. And he's been wrestling with Usman, giving him some great looks. I mean, Usman, you hate Usman, but he's a fucking really, really good wrestler. So you know he's getting the looks in, and this really does come. This, to me, is the definition of like a 50-50 fight. Gamrot's a tough son of a bitch. Gamrot's going to be shooting a million takedowns. Gamrot is probably going to get dropped at some point. We'll see if Esteban can kind of finish the job where most people can't, because he's able to like hide his head, shooting singles and stuff like that. And we'll see what happens in those situations. But this feels like it's just going to come down to who's judging the fight and what kind of mood they're going to be in. Because I don't want to say every minute, but 80% of them being face-to-face on the feet, Esteban's probably going to be winning those minutes. And Gamrot is going to be winning the minutes in like the takedown attempts and stuff like that. But the way that Esteban's able to scramble and the lack of control and the sense of urgency that Esteban has and the lack of control that Gamrot has shown in fights, I just don't think he's going to be able to score. Like, it feels like it's going to be like a typical, like against like a Dan Hooker or against a whoever. Like, those fights that he's been losing, it's because he's not able to get the damage. And then on the feet, he's kind of getting punished and he's getting a little bit of exposed and stuff like that. But if he's shooting a million takedowns, getting some control, and you got two judges that are like, fuck yeah, I love that pressure, you know, Reebok's going to lose this fight. But I think it's a 50-50 fight. So the value in like an underdog play, it's got to be in Esteban, because he's going to be the better striker. He shows urgency to his feet. And if he gets taken down, I don't see Gamrot doing damage. I don't see him threatening submissions. I don't see him like teeing off with elbows and stuff. He's going to be trying to just hold this guy the whole time. And I think the optics are bad and the value's on Esteban. I think Esteban's going to win this fight.
Yeah. Listen, I'm with you. And I'm a big Gamrot guy. First, I think I picked Gamrot.
How are you so bad at jiu-jitsu?
I'm sure he's phenomenal at jiu-jitsu, but he's just so comfortable with wrestling that he's not turning the switch on. And
but imagine if like an Evloev and a Gamrot were just throwing hooks in, or like a fucking Moicano. Yeah.
As soon as Moicano got that fight to the ground,
dude, he's like boom, boom, hooks in, boom, boom. It's like
nobody went fucking anywhere. And Moicano had the wherewithal to be like, he had the rear naked. Nope, I'm going to leave it because I don't trust my hips right now. That's why he let go. I don't like where my hips are right now. So he reset his hips and he waited and he knew he would find it and he found it. And that
surprise elbow.
That is just high level. Yeah. That is just
Duncan goes, oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Yelling surprise elbow is so funny too. Well, it's not surprise anymore, is it? But it is
doing it right after he yells it is the funniest part.
But no, but I agree with you. Like, I'm a big Gamrot guy. I've picked him a gazillion times over. And people are like, oh, he beat Arman. He could beat. That was a different matchup. First of all, I thought Arman won that fight. Second of all, all they did was wrestle, and he happened to have the better scrambles. Yes, Red.
And when I was going to pick Gamrot because I said, you know what? Everything that everyone said about Ludovic Klein, they're going to say about Esteban Ribovics. Like, he's hard to take down. Like, Ludovic Klein had like a 90-some% takedown defense. He was going to be the better striker. But Ludovic Klein was like as hesitant as I ever seen him on the feet. And he was like just waiting for the takedown attempts. Esteban's not that dude because he trusts his ability to get back up and his scrambling ability. So he's going to be moving forward. He's not going to be, in my opinion, like we'll see, but I don't think there's going to be. So when people are like, well, he beat Ludwig Klein and Ludwig Klein's better than, I think it's a mentality thing. Ludwig Klein was just kind of too scared.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that freeze up in fights where they're worried about getting taken down. They don't quite.
You did that. I mean, when we fought, you froze up.
Yeah, no, I definitely. You were the one who was bleeding, not me. Okay, and I have ulcers. I don't even bleed from one of those. Guys,
That was not on the med. I would have targeted them. You're supposed to disclose.
I'm not even entirely sure what an ulcer is. I just know
it's a hole in your stomach where the acid is like.
I thought that was gastro. That's what Brock Lesnar had.
You've burnt a hole in your stomach with hot sauce. You have ulcers and you just ate a bag of Taco Bell?
I don't actually have ulcers. I'm kidding. And I don't do spicy.
Sure, buddy. Sure, buddy.
I don't have an ulcer.
I'll bet. No, it's cool.
Anyway, Jacob and I are both on the underdog side on this fight, and there are bets on the board for this fight. If you want to check out every pick, every bet, every tool, it's a measly, a teensy weensy, itsy bitsy, teeny weeny $10 for an entire month's worth of access. No tiers. It's $10. Every pick, every bet, every tool. No upsell, no cross sell, $10 flat. WeWantPicks.com. Couple of super chatterinos, $2.79 Canadian from Big Maple Bets. Disability check parlay. She just hits different. Using your disability money to root for somebody else to get disabled. Quite the bet we got going on here. Good luck with that. Unwell to brrr. 499, broken wrist and dislocated shoulder, but I'm fine. But I won't be fine unless we lock in for the first time. I'll bet exactly every bet Jacob bets live. There you go.
It was funny. I saw you liked one of the tweets. Some fucking
yeah.
And I hate using this word, Angelo, but some fucking retard was on Twitter being like, fucking, yeah, you only show your winnings because I posted all the winnings that we had this past week on the stream. He's like, yeah, but you don't show your losses. I'm sure you're losing more. Dude, all the bets I fucking make live, dude. What the fuck are you talking about?
Literally
every bet we make is live on the fucking streams. What am I trying to hide? I'm live during it. You fucking...
Yeah, literally. There's no faking slips when people are watching you click the buttons. Like, it is all right then and there. You actually show the bet being placed too. It's not just here's a good one. Like literally, you click in the button.
That's my money. They don't fucking give me the fucking trust me. It's mine. When we fucking lose, it's not very fun. And you can see my excitement when we fucking win too.
1999 from Unwell to Brr. Shout out to you guys both. Y'all both helped me get through a lot of dark days. And for the first time in a while, life's going great. You just broke your wrist. How bad was it? He just got
paid out, man. He just got paid out. That's got to be a six-figure payout the way he's talking. Good for him.
Y'all probably need a lot of other men on here who suffer in silence. You probably help a lot of other men who suffer in silence and watch y'all as an escape as well. Listen, I genuinely appreciate that. I hope that's not the case, right? I hope there's not a lot of people that are down and, need us to help. But I will say when I went through, after we had our first daughter, my wife had like real bad postpartum.
Settle in, guys.
She was a nightmare. My daughter was colicky. She was a nightmare. And I would go to YouTube. I would get my comfort on YouTube from two people. Boogie2988 brought me. This is before he went full fucking weirdo. This is before the veneers.
And Alex Jones.
Before the veneers, before all the bullshit. He would give me, because it was just positive, whatever. And this other guy, The Last Gamer, this Australian dude that at the time I think had the biggest video game collection on the planet. I would watch his videos, just like his excitement about these video games in his collection.
Did you watch Boogie just to make yourself feel better?
No, but his content was like, I didn't know who he was. His content at the time was like positive, video game based. Like he wasn't broke yet. He didn't shoot the gun in the neighborhood. None of that bullshit happened yet. He was just like a happy fat dude making videos. And so I would use that content to just, like that was my however long of just peace and like bring myself back down while everything around me was fucking chaos. So if I could do that for you, I appreciate it. I guess I'm paying it forward, but hopefully you guys are all good. Next up, at UFC 327, we have yet another wildly unreliable fighter. We got Kevin Holland taking on Randy Rude Boy Brown. Kevin Holland, 28-15 in his career, 2-3 in his last 5 on an unfortunate 2-fight skid. Taking on Randy Rude Boy Brown, 20-7 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5, coming off that main event KO loss. Kevin Holland, when he's doing the things he's supposed to do, he's an accurate striker. He's got laser pinpoint accuracy. There's some good power in there because of the speed, because of how well-timed his shots are, and he's got phenomenal jiu-jitsu. The wrestling is the really only criticism you could have for him with his actual fight skills. If you zoom out from the skills themselves, he's a little... seems disinterested at times, doesn't seem to care very much if he wins or loses, almost like he made so much money when he fought Hamzat on short notice that nothing at that point forward even matters to him.
He's got to be making $400,000 or $500,000 a fight at this point. Maybe more. Has he ever had his salary disclosed at a California card? Does anybody know?
No, but I think he said he made over $1 million.
Yeah, he probably got a nice bonus for that one. But I bet his contract is fucking $500,000-$600,000 to fucking show up.
Well, and I kind of get it because he is a name, and his fights can be fun, win or lose. He gets people talking about him, people interested, but he unfortunately at times seems like has so much money he doesn't care. Like, I don't care if I win, I win, I lose, I lose. But when he's on and he's doing the things he's supposed to do, wildly talented guy and a hard guy to beat, taking on Randy Rude Boy Brown. Very tall for this weight class. And obviously so is Kevin Holland, but Randy uses his length really, really well. He's dumb tall at 6'3". He takes full advantage of that. He's got long jabs, long kicks. When he's ready, he'll go ahead and initiate those striking exchanges. He'll even shoot a takedown or two. He has 9 takedowns in his UFC career, and he doesn't go to them often, but they are there, and he has long guy technique with the jiu-jitsu. He'll snatch some things up. He'll make some stuff happen. He is coming off that knockout loss to Gabriel Bonfim, where Gabriel just came in, made it ugly, landed clean, and that was the end of that. Kevin Holland's not a reliable fighter, okay? You don't know what he's going to show up, like what he's going to do when he shows up. You don't know if he's going to be on. You don't know if he's going to be off. You don't know how serious he'll take it. He does tend to win like these type fights, like back against the wall, not supposed to win, couple losses, boom. Like that's one where he shows out and looks spectacular. And we usually will break him down, mention how unreliable he is, but mention the talent, pick him anyway. Then it's a disaster. And I'm not falling into that cycle here. I'm just going to flat out pick Randy Brown. No caveat, no but if, Kevin. I think Randy's actually the better overall fighter. And as long as Randy doesn't let Kevin play his game and doesn't let Kevin just talking, get in his head and get him to do dumb shit or get him to be more aggressive than he should be, I think Randy wins this fight. I think he's the more powerful striker. I think he certainly has a wrestling advantage. And I think Randy's just the overall better fighter. So as long as he doesn't fall out of what his rhythm will be, which is managing range, landing clean, engaging when he wants to, I think Randy wins this fight, so Randy's going to be the pick. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, my hope is for this fight to be what it could be. I think that's what everyone should kind of hope for. Like both these long, rangy guys throwing big strikes from range, because there's neither one of them is like the most technical guys, but they can't throw some big shit over the top. And I hope that it ends in a knockout either way. I don't want this turning into like fucking MVP and fucking what's his name, like where there's just like they both have range, so they're both just kind of staring at each other. And that's typically not a Kevin Holland fight, but you know, I just hope that this is what it's supposed to be. With that said, it's a Kevin Holland fight. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. I'm taking Randy Brown because I think he's the better striker, wrestling and whatever. I don't really give a shit. I think he's the better. He throws punches better. But if he gets knocked out, he gets knocked out. If he gets subbed, he gets subbed. We'll watch this fight on Saturday. We'll find some props to bet for sure. But I got to go Randy Brown. But I'm not going to fucking sit here and try to make a case for either one of them. I mean, just everyone knows who Kevin Holland is at this point. So it is what it is.
Yeah, and people are just going nonstop. He's never lost 3 fights in a row. And yeah, all right, he hasn't yet.
Nobody has until they have.
What? So what? Yeah, neither did Anderson Silva.
Like, yeah, Tony Ferguson never lost 5 fights in a row, and then he lost fucking 9 in a row.
Like it is like I get what you're
something saying. Hasn't happened. I mean, that drives me insane with people just because it's never happened. So okay, yeah, it just hasn't happened yet.
And he's obviously been in this position before. His back, I literally opened this breakdown with, he does seem to win these fights where his back is against the wall and whatever. Jacob and I met him at Noche UFC. That dude had less than zero interest in looking at anybody, talking to anybody, showed up.
Meet him. I didn't talk to Kevin. You talked to Kevin?
No, we didn't like meet him.
You just said we met him.
We're around him, I guess. I'm not.
We were in the same arena as Kevin Holland.
No, he was in the. It was in the.
I know he was in the VIP.
He was in the VIP. He was supposed to be the fighter.
He was taking. I mean, he was doing what he was supposed to do. He was taking pictures. I mean,
dude, he was there for 1/8 of the time. Showed zero interest.
How do you know how long he's supposed to be there?
Because he bailed immediately while the line was long.
Maybe he wasn't even supposed to be there and just showed up because he was a nice guy.
He was supposed to be there.
How do you know you're supposed to be there? There's no list of athletes that's showing up.
They
just come over and be like, "Hey, so and so is coming over in 5 minutes."
They said, okay. So they said he was supposed to be there. He came with his
Sounds
fire
like you're
your
being pretty
manager.
negative.
Him and his buddy came with the fire your manager shirts. They engaged with basically nobody, got in line, took like 2 pictures. His buddy ate a ton of food and then they bounced. There was a whole line of people. Everybody was furious. And the only reason I'm mentioning all of that is Kevin Holland. It was almost as disappointing with Cowboy Cerrone, who took literally 0 pictures, but he's supposed to be a man of the people. He's supposed to be the guy that everybody loves because he's so fun and he's just normal and he goes out there, and he was less than interested in talking to anybody because I didn't care at all.
So now you have a personal vendetta versus Kevin Holland. That's just like you have the personal vendetta versus what's his name because he big dogged you in the VIP room.
No, listen, if it's a true show of your character, if you're too cool to engage.
Now you're saying the fucking 5-minute interaction that you saw with Kevin Holland, and you have no idea of the details.
Exactly.
You have no idea the details if he was even supposed to be there, if he just happened to show up. He was like, let me go ahead and stop in and just say hi to the fans. You have no idea.
That's not
but because of that 5-minute, not even an interaction, observation of Kevin Holland, now you are questioning his character when this guy has gone out of his way to fucking stop robberies and pulling people out of the car and stopping people. But now, because of an interaction you saw that you didn't want a part of, you're questioning his character.
I'm not questioning his character. I made a very clear line between he doesn't seem to give a fuck about his career, and then the one time that there was any interaction whatsoever, he didn't give a fuck about that situation either. So he seems like he's at a point where he made enough money. He doesn't care at all about anybody or anything anymore. And you saw that in his interview with Rampage Jackson, who was like, you know what a 40-20, whatever the fuck that whole thing was. The dude doesn't seem to care about anybody or anything, which makes breaking him down so freaking hard. That's the problem. Because if he doesn't care about this fight, because he's already made all the money he's supposed to make, and now he's trying to start a managing company. Somebody said, why did he wear the Fire Your Manager shirt? Because him and his buddy are starting a management company. Because I was talking to his buddy about it. If he doesn't care about anybody or anything, including his career, how are we supposed to care about his career? That's what I'm getting at here. So I can't trust the guy. End of story. Next fight. Next up, at UFC 327, we have the featured prelim of the evening. We have Patricio Pitbull taking on Aaron Pico in a fight that, frankly, should have happened 10 years ago in Bellator.
How did it not happen?
I literally, because Pitbull was the champ and Pico just kept getting knocked out right when he was right there for a title fight.
Yeah, I never really paid attention to like the Bellator stuff, but I was surprised. I was like, how did this never happen? Because it seems like those were the guys over there, kind of.
They were, but Pico literally had an actual knockout loss. He had an injury. Like, Pico's career never quite became what it should have been based off of who he is. If I could cut your internet off, I would.
Get to the breakdown, man. Jesus Christ.
Patricio Pitbull taking on Aaron Pico. Patricio Pitbull, 37-8 in his career, 2-3 in his last 5. He is coming off that first official UFC win over Daniel Ige, taking on Aaron Pico, Brazilian Aaron Pico, 13-5 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5.
And Pico.
3-2 in his last 5. He is coming off that spectacular knockout loss to Lerone Murphy that has convinced everybody that this guy's absolutely terrible. Here is the reality of this fight. Patricio Pitbull is a very, very good fighter. a phenomenal fighter. For a massive chunk of his career, he was the best fighter on the planet. He was a multiple division Bellator champion. The dude is in nothing but title fights for like 6 years straight and just an unbelievable fighter. He moves forward. He's got big, heavy punches. He's got good grappling. He has an absolute dog fire in his belly, and he will get after it. But he's older.
He's like a dog with a bone, I'd say.
That's not quite the analogy here. But he gets after it. He gets after it. He's a little older now. He's not quite who he used to be, but he was still good enough to beat Danny Ige. He had 5 takedowns in that matchup. He's taking on Aaron Pico. Everybody loves to hate him because he was one of the most hyped prospects that the UFC signed in 2025, and then the hype left his soul with that spinning back elbow. The reality is he is a good fighter. He is a nasty wrestler. He is a great boxer. Credential-wise, he made it to the finals of the Olympic trials. He lost by basically a single takedown. He has Golden Gloves boxing experience. He's been training for this his entire life. His career didn't quite pan out to what it was supposed to be, but he is unbelievably talented. Has Aaron been knocked out cold before? Yeah. His last fight. Was that the only time? No, unfortunately it's not. He's been knocked unconscious in previous fights as well. But he wins this fight. He's the better wrestler. He's the better striker. As long as he doesn't just eat some rogue overhand, he wins this fight. Aaron Pico is a spectacular fighter, and so is Pitbull. But Pitbull's 40. A 40-year-old Patricio Pitbull should not be out wrestling a phenomenal wrestler in Pico. He should not be out striking the younger, faster striker in Pico. He shouldn't win this fight outside of a bombing overhand. He should not win. Therefore, I have to pick Pico, but my most confident pick last week was Azamat Pekoyev, so maybe I'm the idiot here, but Aaron Pico is going to be the pick. I'm very confident in this, and it's not a slight to Pitbull. I just think Aaron's that good, and this is a favorable matchup. A guy he can take down, a guy who does have power, but not quite what it used to be, and an older, slower guy. Aaron Pico's the pick. Should be able to get it done. What do you think, Jacob?
Here's a comparison I just thought of, and you tell me if it's kind of locked in or not, because it's kind of the same odds, and it kind of has the same feel to it, kind of as my myth I was thinking about.
What?
Excuse me?
What was that sentence?
This feels like it could be like, and stay with me on this one.
I couldn't stay with you last time, but let's try.
Horiguchi versus Amir Albazi. Okay. Where it just felt like there's no way Horiguchi, outside of like some weird thing happening, like Horiguchi was clearly going to be the faster guy, the wrestling advantage, or, you know, it felt like he was going to be that guy in that fight. And it was still priced about -300, -350. Now, Pico's a little bit more dangerous, right? Because he's been flatlined, and Pitbull, what do they say? The last thing you lose is your power. He's still going to have his power. But Pitbull is, I mean, that was kind of like I don't want to say it's a fluke, but he landed it, but it was kind of a fluke, whatever. And Pitbull has shown that he can be kind of hesitant in fights, and he shouldn't be able to have the wrestling advantage. Now, if he's shooting takedowns and getting, control of Aaron Pico, then it's like, oh, fuck. But, I mean, this should be outside of like you said, like outside of a knockout. But what do I say every week? If you're just betting on, somebody might get knocked out, and scared to make that bet, then you shouldn't be betting at all. Like, anybody can get knocked out at any time. Even that Pekoyev bet, I talked to you about it, but that's not a horrible bet. Like, I was very negative about Pekoyev this whole whatever, but I'm like, dude, Tresean Gore gets hit. I'm even betting on Pekoyev. He almost got it done, just like he should have got it done. Like, he knocks him down. He almost gets a finish. It is what it is. But you still, I think I placed a Pekoyev second round knockout, first round knockout 10 out of 10 times against Tresean Gore. And I would do the same thing with Pico. I'm betting Pico in this matchup no matter what. And if he gets chin, he gets chin. Shame on me, I guess, but he's the better fighter here. I think it's priced correctly. The odds are getting a little bit wider. What was it, -375 today? Let me see.
They moved again?
-335. So it's bouncing up and down. I think it'll get a little bit wider. And I can see people wanting the value on Pitbull. If you want to play if you have Pico in parlays and you just want to Pitbull by KO, I don't think he's going to win a decision. I don't think he's going to be active enough or whatever. But if you have parlays and you're at the Pico point and you're like, I don't feel good about it, little Pitbull by KO, little hedge, there's nothing wrong with that. We do that on the Saturday stream sometimes too. So, but I think Pico's definitely the play.
Yeah, and there's I mean, this dude, Pico is shit. That's just not true. First of all, I understand he got basically flatlined by Lerone Murphy. He beat the fuck out of Lerone Murphy before that spinning back elbow. He beat the piss out of him. He was ragdolling Lerone Murphy before that spinning back elbow. Aaron Pico is very, very good. His one flaw is his chin, and that obviously is a problem in fistfights. But all you're rooting for, if you're sitting here spamming Pico sucks, Pico's the worst, these odds are terrible, your only hope is Pitbull at 40 years old just lands one big giant shot. Aaron Pico has a lot to prove here. He signed that massive
UFC Pitbull, like with that, Pitbull kind of already has that mentality. He doesn't really set up stuff. It's almost like he's going to sit on that big shot. It's not, they always say it's the kind of the shot you don't see coming, like that elbow. It's like the shot you don't see coming. When people are just sitting on, scared the absolute
what is it, your dog?
Shit out of me. I thought a raccoon, a fucking wild rabbit, just jumped just jumped on my arm and scared the absolute piss out of me. This snorting hippopotamus.
Like I do.
Huh?
That thing breathes like I do.
I'm very excited. That didn't scare me, but I don't even know what I was saying, but yeah.
No, listen, I'm on Aaron Pico here. I think all right. This dude says Pico is not UFC level. Is Pitbull? They came from the same organization. He
got dropped by Yair.
They both lost their UFC debut. They say except one of them's 15 years younger than the other one. Sorry, 11 years younger.
That did scare the fucking shit out of me. I was like, what the fuck?
Somebody said that dog has awake apnea. That's funny. Yeah, we're both on the Pico side here. If you want to check out every pick, every bet, every tool, because we do have bets on this fight. We do have an artificial intelligence that's picking fights, and we have a whole bunch of other cappers. All of it's available right now on the website, wewantpicks.com. Just click Become a Member at the top. It's freaking $10. And if you want $50 smackerinos, 2 20s and a 10, go to We Want Picks. Check actually this specific URL, this URL right here, this very specific URL. Go there, use the link, sign up, make a deposit. They're going to get a new customer. I'm going to get a one-time commission, and then you're going to get $50. It's very bing, bong, boom. Very freaking simple. Use the affiliate link, the affiliates pay, and then we pay. Very simple exchange. Go to the URL, sign up, make a deposit.
I sent somebody today. Did you get a sign up this afternoon?
May have. Let's see.
Somebody on Twitter was like, "Hey, I watch your Saturday streams, but I live in a place where I can only use like prize picks and stuff. Like, what do you use?" And I always tell it's like, "Good, bet online. That's what I use, and it's fantastic. If you sign up, we can help you out." So I sent him your way.
I don't see a form submitted yet, but maybe that'll come tomorrow.
He might be on it. He DM'd me on X and.
Yeah, we just need the form. That's because
I don't online. If you guys are stuck and you're like, "Man, I wish I can't do this or I can't do that." I mean. BetOnline is what I've used for literally like 15, 20 years. It's a legit site, and we can't use that stuff either in Texas, but we can use BetOnline. So
we could use the prediction markets. We could use Kalshi and what's the UFC partner there? The crypto prediction market. The hell is it? Damn it. The UFC uses it. Which one is it? All right, nerd. We could use that, but I don't. Then go to the website. All right. I always talk about the greatest service this space has ever seen. It literally is. We have a whole suite of tools, a data analyzer, a tape index, a fight simulator. We have a line movement tracker. We have literally an entire suite of tools that are help designed to find bets, help design, or they help build DraftKings fantasy lineups, find prize picks, underdog, literally Polymarket. Thank you all very much, Polymarket. Everything you could ever want or need. Literally everything. And there's more tools coming. That is what we do. We continue to add to the service and we keep the service at the exact same price. I used to use, and it's all available in an app. I used to use, example I used to use, you've heard me say it, the Costco hot dogs, $1.50. It's been $1.50 since inception. And the owner was like, I'm never raising the price of that hot dog. And then I started using Arizona Iced Tea. The Arizona Iced Tea CEO, famously, like 3 years ago in an interview, people were like, inflation's through the roof. How are you still charging 99 cents for this giant can of iced tea? And he's like, we still make our money. I make money. I can feed my family. I don't need to make more money. I'm not going to raise the price. And now the latest CEO that is exactly like that is the Savannah Bananas guy. You ever see an interview with him?
What the fuck are we talking about, dude?
No, so you can't follow. That's on you. Go to Kumon. They'll walk you through how to follow a story. The Savannah Banana CEO, so just like premium membership has been $10 since day one and will be $10 forever, the Savannah Banana CEO has turned down TV deals, turned down sponsorship, all that because he's like, I'm not going to fuck with the experience. People love it. We sell places out. I make good money. I want the fans to enjoy themselves. I'm not selling out because if we sell this, all they're going to do is rip it for profits and ruin the experience. And that's exactly where we're at. We're $10 a month. We have been $10 a month since day one. Our costs have gone up. We've never raised that price. We've never considered raising that price. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. It's $10 freaking dollars to unlock anything you could ever want or need heading into a fight weekend. And we're going to open up the UFC 327 main card with Cub Swanson in a retirement fight against Nate Landwehr. This is Cub Swanson's last fight ever. He said it loud and clear. He will get a full send-off. Think Michael Chiesa, but not at home because this is not his home. But Cub Swanson in his last fight ever, 30-14 in his career. He is 3-2 in his last 5 heading into retirement, taking on Nate Landwehr, 18-7 in his career, 2-3 in his last 5 on an unfortunate 2-fight knockout skid. Cub Swanson, absolute legend, right? We should all be very familiar with him in his career at this point. For a very long time, he was the real deal. Never quite became a world champion, but was always good enough to beat some of the best people in the world. And still, at this age, is giving people runs for their money. He's old, he's slow, but he's incredibly tough. He's got great striking. He's got good wrestling when he needs it, good takedown defense, all around a spectacular fighter, but ultimately age is catching up to him. He did just beat Billy Quarantillo, but it looked like, unfortunately, he got rocked a couple of times. Certainly didn't absorb the shots as well as he has in the past. He's taking on Nate Landwehr, an absolute wild man of a fighter. Just going to run forward, throw crazy. He'll look for a finish at all costs. He's a talented guy. He's got decent power. He's got some skills, but it's mostly just go out there, all gas, no brakes, grind, just make it chaotic and see what happens. That is a Nate Landwehr fight. He did just get knocked out by Morgan Charrier, where he was moving forward and he was incredibly tough. He just was not the better fighter. And I think that's exactly what we have here. Now, this is Cub Swanson's retirement fight. I honestly think it should be Nate Landwehr's retirement fight as well. And that's not an insult to Nate. The problem is, in order for Nate to win fights, he has to absorb an unreasonable amount of damage. He has to get the shit kicked out of him to be able to just move forward and grind and get the takedowns and rip you to the ground. And if he can't absorb that unreasonable amount of damage, he doesn't have success. He can't get close. He can't get you to the ground. And if he can't do that, he can't win. I don't see Nate Landwehr winning this fight. And you can see here the opening odds on Cub Swanson were plus 170. Plus 170 opening odds. Now it's basically even money. Cub Swanson is definitely going to flip to the favorite here. And you can see 75% of the community is picking Cub to win this fight. And I'm on that side. I agree with the 75%. I think Cub Swanson is the better overall fighter. And as long as he doesn't get manhandled to the ground, he should be good. And he has fought everybody that's ever walked this face of the earth. He's seen people like Nate. He's fought people like Nate. He's beaten people like Nate. I think he does beat Nate this weekend. I think he gets his hands raised. Cub Swanson is the pick. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, all the respect in the world to both these guys. I've got my Cubby shirt on. We already talked about at the beginning of the stream, but Cubby's my favorite fighter. I mean, if you ask me who my favorite fighter is, it's going to be Cub Swanson. He is everything that everybody wants in a fighter, just signified. Everything you want to fire, signified.
No, you're right there for sure.
He's everything you want in a fighter, signified.
Personified, maybe?
Does it start with a P?
I think personified is the word you're looking for.
He's everything you want in a fighter, personified. And you know, he's gonna go for he's gonna go for it. He's gonna give it his all. He's got really clean boxing. We just saw in back-to-back weeks, a Danny Silva and a fucking what the fuck's his name? I can't remember what the fuck his name is. The guy that
what are you doing and talking
Erosa. When the guy that smoked the Rosa.
Jesus Christ. This is bad.
But he trains those guys. Like that's the boxing camp. Cub's always been a slick boxer. I respect the the toughness of Nate the Train. If Nate's able to like be Nate the Train and take over late with a 40-year-old Cub Swanson, it is what it is. But I was surprised by these odds. I can't believe they opened up what they did. If I was opening these odds, I'd put it at minus 150 and see what people wanted to do, like 150 on the Cub side. So, with Cub, if you got plus money on Cub, I think that's like almost an auto bet because he should be like the better fighter. You heard me talk about MMA Masters and how fucking terrible that gym is. And I told you guys, fucking Nate's like a fucking the king of MMA Masters, and he's obviously maybe been a little bit better, but not that he's going to be like Mr. Game Plan anyway, but, the game plan's always shit for out of that gym. But if Nate can tough it out, he can tough it out, but he's getting kind of cracked more and more in fights, and Cubs coming off some pretty decent performances. I mean, I thought he beat Andre Feely, and obviously he knocked out fucking Billy Q. So, and I was there at Tampa. What a moment that was a fucking awesome moment. But, yeah, I got to go with my guy, Cub. It's a little bit biased, but I think everyone would agree. I feel like he's the better fighter, so I just don't really understand these odds right now, but we'll see what they close at. But I like Cubby.
Yeah, listen, I think Cub wins, and obviously so does the general public, despite him being such a massive underdog at open. I didn't
what is it?
Personified. Your
say it again slow though.
Personified. Your Kumon tutor will walk you through exactly how that works. What's funny is on my quick picks video, I was like, oh, too bad he couldn't retire at home. Where is Cub from? I don't know. And people were like, look at his chest, you moron dipshit. Because it says SoCal across his chest. And I was like, well, listen, people have Chinese tattoos up and down their back. They're not Chinese. I don't know.
Whoa,
maybe the dude just loves Southern California. I don't know if that's where he's from. Obviously, that is where he's from. And I was just,
you said what about Chinese?
People said he's obviously from Southern California because he has a Southern California tattoo. And I said tons of people have Chinese letter tattoos and they're not Chinese.
You've got tribal tats all over your body.
And I'm not tribal. Exactly.
I got flowers, but I'm not a garden.
You're a gay. And they love flowers.
He does have a palm tree, though. So if you didn't have the SoCal, you might think that he... Okay, you said it's per what?
No, we're not. I'm not your tutor. You haven't paid me to tutor you. And you need a special type of tutor that can like sneak your medicine in the cheese to calm your ass down before the lessons themselves. So your parents pay extra for that piece of it. Because you don't show up with a mind that is able to accept new information. So they need to work extra hard and like trick you. Yeah, exactly. And trick you into learning.
Ooh.
So, and that's where Kumon specializes.
It's a little different, doesn't it?
For sure. No, for sure.
What was your favorite? I bet you were eating those dumbass markers. Oh, it smells like chocolate.
The grape, everything is always better. Of all the fruit flavored sodas, grape is better than orange. Bubblegum,
I would argue that's flavor. Quite literally the worst flavor.
Grape is the best Jolly Rancher.
Strawberry kiwi, watermelon, banana, fucking.
Oh, God. As soon as you said banana, get the fuck out of here, guys.
So if you're getting cough syrup, you'd rather have like grape than cherry?
Yeah, grape Robitussin, you moron. Everybody would pick
No, that's why they made cherry, because grape was so bad. They're like, we got to give an alternative.
No, and you know what? You were dead fucking wrong last week, too, when you said every Reese's that's not shaped like the original is worse.
Yeah, because everyone agreed.
I asked everybody I know, and they're all
because like, people are addicted to peanut butter. Just eat a spoonful of peanut butter. Then it's not what a Reese's is about. What are we doing?
It's Reese's, not Reese's. And second of all, people like the pumpkins, people like the eggs, people like the Christmas trees. Only you think those are worse than the original. Only you. Guys, if you want to become a premium member, it's only $10. And if you have $15, that means you have $5 more to spend on the good Reese's and grape candy. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. $2 super chat from Enema. Yikes. No Vig has great UFC odds available almost everywhere. Is No Vig a peer-to-peer? Is that like what Bet Openly is?
Holy shit. You actually said that word?
Everywhere or peer-to-peer?
You said the word.
No, I did not. I don't know if that's a peer-to-peer. That's why they don't have a VIG. Same with Bet Openly and what they did.
You're getting yelled at, and I agree with them.
That's fine. He's the one who's paying me. Rob's FinTech. Angelo, shut up and get back to the damn picks. You spelled damn wrong, you fuck stick. Some tech. This is called We Want Picks, not We Want Random BS Conversations. Take it up with Fuckleberry Finn over here, who just starts talking about God knows what.
Rob's
FinTech can't spell damn. We're done. I'm done.
I haven't sidetracked one. You're Mr. Storyteller today.
You haven't sidetracked one single
Not
time.
today. Name 2 times I did it.
I can't right now, but I'll go back.
Okay.
And I'm
sure. No, comment. If it kept happening, I would think it would be fresh in your mind.
Sure. No, absolutely. Well, because my mind has to run this whole fucking show. I have to do the intro. Remember,
you don't have to. We've been through this before.
All right, here we go.
Time and time again.
Here we go.
Time and time again. We disproved it. Angelo with his notes. Here we go. Let me just make sure I get the tapology here.
Oh, the awkward silence is found.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here for your entertainment, a UFC 327 breakdown. Saturday, April 11th, 12th, April. We're going to have quite the show. And on that show, and on that card, and on the main card for our featured fight, actually, not the featured fight, we're going to have a great fight here. And that is between Dominick Reyes and Johnny Walker. My God. A couple animals here. A couple big sons of bitches. A couple fucking hardy gentlemen with some glass chins. There's no doubt about that. What's going to happen, you ass salamander? Hell, I don't know. Who fucking knows? Nobody fucking knows. These guys don't fucking know. Okay? Dominick Reyes is going to be scared out of his mind. Johnny Walker's going to be crazy as ever. And to me, this breakdown, Angelo, goes as simple as this. Who's going to be the timid one? Because I think, as in life, the aggressor goes the spoils. And in my opinion, I saw Dominick Reyes come out against Carlos Ulberg. Look scared out of his mind. Scared to throw a fucking punch. You want to start backing up and acting all willy-nilly versus this guy, Johnny Walker? And get in trouble. Whoever's backing up early is going to lose this fight. And I think Johnny Walker comes in with the confidence, the crazy. Dominick Reyes starts backing up, and he's going to get caught. But if it goes vice versa, that's why we watch, Angie, baby. That's my breakdown. What say you?
Quite the intro. Records in the last 5. You got all of it. We got Dominick Reyes taking on Johnny Walker. Dominick Reyes, 15-5 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5.
Nailed it.
Did just get knocked out by Carlos Ulberg after reviving his career. Johnny Walker, 22-9 in his career, 2-1 in his last 5, coming off the ridiculous underdog redemption win over Mingyang Zhang. These guys are somewhat similar. They're both tall as hell for this division. They're both primary strikers. They both have no chin whatsoever. They can both be finished with a dirty look. Dominick Reyes, probably the overall not more talented fighter because Johnny Walker has a ridiculous amount of talent, but Dominick Reyes, the more put together fighter. And if he sticks to a game plan and he stays clean and stays technical, he could absolutely win this fight. So I'm going to pick him to win. Zero confidence in that pick whatsoever. I'm only picking it because, as FinTech pointed out, the name of the channel is We Want Picks. Otherwise, I would not make a pick here. But Dominick Reyes is going to be the pick because of the two of them, I think he's the better actual fighter. I think Johnny Walker has more.
I agree.
Raw talent. Johnny Walker is going to be like faster, more unorthodox, and all of that craziness and chaos that comes with Johnny Walker. But he's definitely.
You know the craziest part about this?
Yeah. What's the craziest part?
And stay with me on this one.
Yeah, stay with him. No side tangents, but we somehow have to stay with him. Pay attention to this non-side tangent.
This isn't side tangent.
Let's hear it.
Johnny Walker. They were building up Johnny Walker into a star. Like, he was going to be, like, the big fucking dude or whatever. Like, they were featuring him on the embedded before that MSG card and all this type of stuff. And Dominick Reyes almost became what they wanted Johnny Walker to be.
What incredible. Thank you so much for adding that. You know what? That was great. You're right. So Dominick Reyes almost became who they wanted Johnny Walker to be. That's
you got it.
Two guys have not become anything.
You got it, baby.
What is that? Hey, thanks for the input. Who did you pick? Did you pick Johnny?
I got Johnny, baby.
Okay. So Jacob and I are split here. If you would like a tiebreaker, we got plenty of them. We have Artem, who actually people like Artem. Artem's pick rate is absolutely, he closed last year at like 77 or something obscene. Pick rate, we call him the regional rain man because he's doing spectacular things. We have Bet Sam, who is the single best gambler in MMA. There is nobody better. That is an objective fact. Just check his track record. We have Kunith, who I'm only going to say good things about because I really like Kunith, and he will dig himself out of the hole that he has put himself into. And then we have an artificial intelligence that's picking at like 71%.
He had a nice parlay last week.
Kunith was this close to like doing very, very well last week. He was like right.
You didn't say anything about me.
Because you're on camera right now, dickhead. I said we have tiebreakers. You really can't follow a conversation. I said we have Jacob and I are split here if you need a tiebreaker. And then I listed all the tiebreakers. Yeah. Too much for it's too logical. It's all on the website. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. Is this a super chat? It sure is. $5 super chat from Vin C 1484. Jacob, are we getting a prop video or live stream this card?
Why does he say that like we have had a live stream every card this year?
He's just making sure. He's double checking.
Vink.
I assume that's a yes. He didn't answer the prop video part, but I assume that I'm trying to get Jacob actively right now to not live stream. I'd rather he come hang out with the boys for a little bit. I could use some guy time. I could use a hang with the fellas.
Fuck Angelo.
Fuck your stream. Come hang out with the boys. Next up at UFC 327, we have the featured fight of the evening. We have Curtis Blaydes taking on Josh Hokett. Curtis Blaydes, top 5 heavyweight on planet Earth, 19-5 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5, coming off that win over Rizvan Kunayev, taking on Josh Hokett, undefeated at 8-0. Obviously 5-0 in his last 5, coming off back-to-back knockout wins in the UFC. And this is a controversial breakdown. This is a fight that everybody is split on. Curtis Blaydes, obviously a fantastic wrestler. He's averaging more than 5 takedowns per fight. He's fast. He's clean. Good entries. The striking's there as well. He can be knocked out. We've seen that before. And there was a chunk of his career where he really didn't wrestle. But in his last fight against Rizvan, he had 2 takedowns. And those were the first takedown attempts he had in 3 years leading up until that point. We also found out after the fight, because Curtis did not look good in that fight, we found out after that he tore his MCL in the first round. He's taking on Josh Hokett. Solid prospect. This guy is a 2-sport collegiate athlete, a Division I wrestler, Division I football player. So good at football that he actually made it to the NFL, bounced around between a few teams. He's obviously wildly athletic. He's very fast. He's very powerful. Despite having the power in his hands, he will utilize the wrestling. He'll come forward, blast doubles right through you. He did just knock out Denzel Freeman, where he had that instant knockout or knockdown, but he did start to breathe very heavy, like concerningly so. And that's what makes this breakdown tricky, because are we sitting here saying that Josh Hokett is the number 5 heavyweight on the planet? Because if he beats Curtis Blaydes, then that's what he is. I mean,
from the fucking heavyweights we've been watching the last few months, I mean, Jesus Christ. He's head and shoulders above all the ones we've been watching. Holy fuck. What a disaster of a weight class.
It is an absolute hot
We say every Saturday, we're like, every time we watch a heavyweight fight, we're like, why the fuck doesn't Angelo just spend 6 months
lock in?
You have the context to be able to like sneak in a contract. Oh, this guy fucking will live and say you're 35, you're a fucking Olympic trial wrestler, we'll put you in the Apex, and god damn it, Angelo, you could beat some of these guys.
Somebody the other day was like, didn't you say there was somebody you could beat? Who was it? I was trying to remember who it was. They were like, was it Thomas Peterson? I was like, no, Thomas Peterson's a JUCO national champ wrestler.
It's probably Fabio Charant, the water buffalo. Or William Knight.
It was William Knight for a while, for sure.
I forgot he was even a thing. And I saw somebody on Twitter put that fight against whoever where he had like 4 strikes or whatever. He just like didn't do anything. I was like, damn, I forgot about that fight. Was that against Prochazka or whatever?
It was Prochazka. Prochazka held him against the cage.
Holy shit.
Listen, Josh Hokett's very good, obviously, and he certainly is being primed to become a star. I just hate this matchup because if Josh Hokett wins, it'll seem great at the time. Like, oh, but the problem is now he's the number 5 heavyweight in the UFC. There is no more leeway. There's no more building. That's it. You're in the fucking mix. Like, there you go. You have no runway whatsoever. And if he loses, he can't possibly get on the microphone after his next win over some absolute bum and do the shit that he does. So you're putting him in a position where it is like going to destroy and tank everything he's built so far, or he's got one good fight and then it's going to be too much and you blew his wad too soon. Now, can he win this fight? Of course he can. Of course he can run forward and he can knock Curtis Blaydes out. He can also take Curtis Blaydes down. Joel Almeida did it 9 times in the very first round, but I'm going to pick Curtis here. I do think experience matters. And while Josh Hogan's probably the more naturally gifted athlete at this point with the power in his hands, obviously the very, very good wrestling that he uses and Curtis Blaydes doesn't really use, I'm still going to pick Curtis. First of all, he's tremendous. He's a real heavyweight where I feel like Josh could work his way down the light heavyweight. And honestly, it's the type of fight where, let's say Josh loses badly, I wouldn't be surprised if his next fight was at light heavyweight. But I think Curtis Blaydes will use the size, use the experience. Look what happened in the Jordan fight. He was literally ragdolled for the first round, and then the second round, takedown, just blast in the head, never lost his composure. He has been here before. He has fought the best fighters on planet Earth. I don't see him losing to Josh Hogan. Who did Josh Hogan beat? He knocked out a retired cop.
Nobody's beat anybody until they beat him, Angelo.
Sure, but that's not true, is it? There's a ladder. You don't just go from knocking out a retired cop.
Eventually one day you go from you haven't beat anybody good to now you've beat somebody good, and everyone goes through it. Ilya was fighting Ryan Hall.
And then who did he fight after Ryan Hall? Did he go immediately to the number 5 fighter on the planet?
In 3 fights, he was the champion of the world.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it was. On the 4th fight after Ryan Hall, he was the champion.
4 fights.
Yeah, 3 fights. Yeah.
And first of all, Ryan Hall's horrendous, but he had a very good UFC record.
I don't know what I'm even arguing at this point. I forgot my point.
Exactly. And there's a window into his brain. Who do you think wins this fight, Jacob?
I have respect for Curtis Blaydes, and obviously if Josh Hockett gets fraud checked, he gets fraud checked, but the pattern that seems to be recognizable in like the UFC heavyweight division is like almost like what I mentioned with the Johnny Walker and Dominick Reyes fight, like to the aggressor, like goes the spoils. It feels like every time you get somebody like a Tom Aspinall that just got overwhelming speed and kind of pressure, he gets in front of these guys and these heavyweights are just like, oh fuck, like they're just used to being plotting, fucking sparring heavyweights. They're just blah 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 and wait to land that big shot and blah blah blah. And when you get these athletic, fucking fast heavyweights, it just overwhelms them. And I just think that's what happened here. Like Josh Hockett is just going to come in with pressure, and Curtis Blaydes is going to be like, oh, fuck. And yeah, maybe Hockett gasses or whatever, but I've seen Curtis Blaydes overwhelmed in a fight. I've seen him taken down in fights. I've seen him knocked out early in fights and kind of get up in the fence and be like, oh, fuck, like with this pressure. And it just feels like this is like Hockett's moment. Like every time, I mean, we've been in how many times we had this conversation, like, if this heavyweight wins, that would be great for the UFC, and it doesn't happen. Like, Guilherme Pat, it didn't happen. Mario Pinto looked like fucking shit. Like, the best thing for the UFC right now is for Josh Hockett to fucking smoke Curtis Blaydes. Get on the mic. I know it's fucking corny. I think he knows it's corny. It's pre-rehearsed, whatever. But come on, like I said with Tommy Gunn, like, I don't know why you hate that. That's what you're dying for. This is what we want. We want fucking entertainment. We want personalities. And you might disagree with it, but it's fucking entertaining. Like, we need people like a Josh Hockett to fucking get things going again in the UFC with fucking different eyes on us and everything. So, Curtis Blaydes has all the skills in the world. He's got wrestling. He's got power. He's got whatever. But I just think that Josh Hockett just comes in and just fucking overwhelms him like he's been doing. Yeah, it's a big step up, but you never know if you're going to make the big step up until the step is here, and he's about to make the step. We're going to find out or not. But I mean, this guy seems dialed in. I mean, this speed is like, this is not like, that's not like heavyweight speed. Like, I just think it's going to be I think it's just going to overwhelm him. Take him down, get on his back. Kurt's going to kind of turtle up, and the ref's going to be like, dude, you got to move, and he's not going to move.
Listen, I don't hate that breakdown, and like, I almost picked Josh Hockett here. Like, there's this card. I almost picked Hockett. I almost picked Luque. I almost picked Walker. There's a lot of almost picks here. So I'm not going to die on the Curtis Blaydes hill. I'm just looking at it objectively. And I'm like, I've seen Curtis Blaydes rise to the occasion. I haven't seen Josh there yet. This is by far the best fighter who's ever fought. Like, not even remotely close. By far the best
100%.
fight he's ever fought. And he was if he didn't breathe heavy against Denzel Freeman, and maybe I'm looking at it a little too close, he was breathing pretty fucking heavy in that fight.
I mean, and if nonstop for like 5 minutes.
I completely agree. But if he does that same thing to Curtis isn't.
I mean, if he has remember, the cardio is not about like if you get tired, it's more about like how fast he recovers. So you never really saw if he's able to recover. He could gas himself out, sit there for a minute, and be fucking locked in, good to go, So devil's advocate for that,
And I also 100% agree. So I picked Curtis, you picked Hackett. I 100% agree with you. If Hackett wins, it's exciting and could be a very good thing. I do worry, like if he wins, it feels like very short-term payoff, because then what's his next fight? He's the number 5 guy on the planet. What's his next fight? You know what I mean? Like,
I think you swing around, throw him on that White House card versus fucking. I don't fucking know.
There's still some mid-tier heavyweights they could have thrown him in there against to beat the piss out of. And they could have given him Johnny Walker, frankly. Make Johnny Walker go up to heavyweight. They could have done that. Somebody with chinny. Like, build that resume a little bit. But this division is an absolute catastrophe right now. So bad, they might be very, very.
I think you just doing his Walter Walker
Vulture's on his own little win. I know, but match him up against Vulture.
No, I would though, because at that point, like if Vulture loses to Hackett, it's like, man, I mean, that's just a dude on the rise, it's a little step back, but that shows how good Hackett is. And the same thing for Hackett. Like if Hackett happens to lose to Vulture, it's like, oh, well, a little bit too much, but Vulture's on this crazy whatever. He can bounce back. Like I think either way that were to go, like the loss doesn't kill either guy. I don't think so.
Yeah. People are saying
where if he gets killed in this one, it's like, oh, he was definitely not ready. But if he wins this one and you match him against Vulture, then it's like, I think either way.
I guess that's my point. You can't go from you can't go from the number 5 guy in the world all the way down to unranked Walter Walker.
He's ranked 15th, and it's not, I think people with the heavyweight division, I don't think anybody really looks at the rankings for heavyweight division. Like, I mean, you got fucking Elijah number 8, Tyrell Fortune number 10, Tybor is 11, Kuniev is 7, Derek Lewis is 8. Like, I mean, like Towson Teixeira is 12.
Tuivasa dropped out of the rankings, and then after getting knocked out, got put back in.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, Jesus.
No, it's that. Listen, I'll be rooting for Josh. I do think I agree with everything you said. We need some excitement.
And they don't necessarily take the rankings either. Sometimes they slide them in because somebody else just fought. Who was it that fought like the 4th or 5th ranked guy, and then they end up getting ranked like 6th or 7th too?
I thought you literally took the spot.
No, like sometimes, like usually if you're already ranked, it does that. But if you're unranked, sometimes they slide you in like a couple.
Which would make some more sense. If you do need, we're split here as well. So if you need a tiebreaker, WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. We have picks, we have bets, we have tools. If you're there to copy paste, great. If you're there for some research, let us save you some time. We get the best tools in the business. If you want to see what an artificial intelligence that's picking at like 71, 72% accuracy has to say, check that out as well. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. Next up at UFC 327, we have the new co-main event.
Did you really eat everything in that bag?
I had everything. No, well, some of it was taken out before I got the bag. So everything I read wasn't just for me.
Type of 2 if you believe that.
We have Azamat Murzakanov taking on Paulo Costa. This was a different main card fight. They bumped up the co-main event because they moved Joshua Van and Tatsuro Taira to UFC 328. I don't hate this as a co-main. I feel like this is a decent fight card, and I'm not paying $90 for it, so I don't hate this. Undefeated Azamat Murzakanov taking on, top 5, top 6 middleweight Paulo Costa. This is not at middleweight though. Paulo Costa has moved up to light heavyweight. He's a tremendous person. I don't think that's going to work against him. Azamat Murzakanov, undefeated in his career, 5-0 in his last 5, 12 knockout wins, taking on Paulo Costa, 15-4 in his career, 2-3 in his last 5, coming off that spectacular win over Roman Kopylov, which you could argue was one of his best wins in a very, very long time. Azamat Murzakanov.
Did you know
that
was his only win in the UFC versus an active UFC fighter?
I did not know that, but I do have a stat here. In the last 3 years, Paulo Costa has had more canceled fights than real fights. You know what those numbers are?
Enlighten me.
7 canceled fights. 7 fights that did not happen in the last 3 years. And only 5 fights that did. Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that crazy? I think it's more crazy that the only person he's beat that's active in the UFC still is Kopylov.
It's funny because
he's 2-3 in his last 5. Kopylov is, or 3-2. They had 2-3, I think.
That is a wild stat because I believe I don't see it in my notes here in the quick pick video. I think I went through like, all right, what was his last real win? He looked great against Kopylov. What was his last win before that? An old retired Luke Rockhold who like came back for one fight after an extended layoff, and they were like dying out there. Mm-hmm. They like fought to the death.
And before that,
who was before that?
Yoel
Romero, yeah, who's 58,
and they went to war too.
Yeah, and I mean Yoel's actually still good, so that's not a terrible.
Looks good.
That has aged somewhat well. I mean, Paulo Costa's a good. We'll start on his side, I guess. He's a good fighter. First of all, great looking. Second of all, he's aggressive. He's tough as hell. He's got spectacular cardio for a guy that you don't think should have very good cardio. He can do all the things. He's a bit inconsistent. He's had a ton of canceled fights. You don't quite know what you're going to get out of him, but there is some good volume there. He will move forward. He will fight you. Takedown defense listed at 80%. Azamat Murzakanov, not a very big light heavyweight. He's got legit power, though. He's fast. He's heavy-handed. He has a knockdown in all 7 of his UFC fights. He's a good wrestler, good ground and pound, but he's just doing such good things on the feet. He doesn't typically need to wrestle. He just knocked out Alexander Radtke, and he only needed 3 strikes to do so. But that actually makes this tricky because I understand people's instant love for Murzakanov here with actually just stats like Jacob's thrown out really paints the picture of what we're working with. But Azamat Murzakanov does slow down. He does fade. He's not like this unstoppable force. He was losing that fight against Tafon and Chukwi. He was losing that fight and then landed a perfect shot in the 3rd round in a fight that he was on his way to lose. And the only reason he was even put in a place to win is because Tafon and Chukwi's coach was like, be more aggressive, which was the worst advice you could have given the guy in that situation.
Yeah, he was just throwing the same knee over and over and over, and then finally landed it. Because I remember we were both, I think we were watching that together, and we were both like, why does he keep throwing that same fucking knee? And then it was like, oh, there you go. He figured it out.
Like, I'm going to pick Murzakanov here because I think he's just faster. I think he hits harder. I think he's cleaner. But he's not going to knock out Paulo Costa. Like, this dude, outside of the time that he got blackout drunk the night before fighting Israel Adesanya, he's insanely durable. He's tough as shit. And he might look spectacular at light heavyweight. Like, he might wear this weight class really, really well. So I'm going to pick Murzakanov because I think he's faster. He's definitely the better striker, the more powerful striker. But power only matters if you're hitting a human, and we haven't really seen Paulo Costa's head be human yet. So Murzakanov is going to be the pick. I'm not as all in on him as some others might be. What do you think, Jacob?
Who'd you pick?
Murzakanov.
Oh. I will say that I'm looking at the Tapology right now. Murzakanov 79%, 21% Costa, which is a little bit surprising to me because usually I have a pretty good gauge, as I mentioned, usually every week about like kind of who the favorite underdog is. And there's a lot of close fights, but it feels like a lot of people are on Paulo Costa. Maybe that's just because the fan base he's kind of built as his personality and stuff like that. And he did look good against Kopylov, but I think if you rewatch that fight, he did kind of beat Kopylov's ass, but he did kind of the typical Paulo Costa, like 2nd and 3rd round stuff. You talked about Azamat slowing down. Costa's kind of the same thing. Both of them are tough dudes. But I think that it kind of cancels each other out because he started dropping the hands. He started getting hit a little bit more. And I think we're going to realize as time goes on that Kopylov win, that yeah, it was a good win for him. You know, I don't think it's going to translate the way that people think. People are acting like Paulo should be like the favorite or it's a pick 'em or whatever. Azamat's the better striker. I think he's proven that he is the better striker. He's going to be the better striker with more power. He's probably even got some sneaky takedowns. We've seen him kind of defend and kind of like the way that you see him flow when he wants to flow in the grappling. You're like, okay, yeah, that definitely knows what he's doing. Almost like the Ethan Ewing where we said, you know, he's not a grappler, but you can tell when he's in those positions, like he's going to know what the fuck he's doing. So it just feels like this is price correct, in my opinion. Like, I don't think Paulo's going to have the speed that he thinks he's going to have at 205. They say now he's cutting down from like 230, 235. Like he's really kind of this isn't a guy that like is just going to stay at 210 pounds and cut 5 pounds. Like he's fucking, they're like, yeah, he's fucking good. Now he's fucking 230 out of camp and stuff. Like, I just don't think he's going to have the speed he thinks he's going to have. And his speed kind of was translating pretty well at 185. And if you lose that speed, I think his power was already pretty. I know he's known as the eraser and stuff, but it's his power at this point seems a little bit overrated. Maybe he carries a little bit more at 205, but I get the love for Paulo. He's a fun guy. He's a tough dude. He's going to look probably good early. He's going to be flashy in there. He's going to have the good kicks. He's got really crisp kicks. But it just feels like Azamat's going to be a step ahead. This is natural weight class. He's going to be more comfortable with 205 power, with 205. He's going to understand his speed more than I think Paulo's going to understand his speed against like an actual 205er. So, maybe Saturday we'll look at something for Paulo, and he can definitely squeak out, a win or whatever. But, the professor, whatever the fuck his name is, he's pretty dialed in on the striking. So, I gotta go Azamat, unfortunately, on this one.
Yeah, I mean, we're on the same side here, and maybe I am just giving Paulo a little too much respect for what he's done in the past. Because that is a wild stat. That was the only win over somebody on the roster, and even that win, like you said, Roman was losing to Chris Curtis before that last second knockout. Like, not exactly the.
He's not who we thought he was going to be, I would say.
No, and Paulo Costa's like been lingering in the top 5 forever. Like literally forever, been lingering in the top 5, and big step down. So Azamat Murzakanov is going to be the pick. Both sides. I've got a little bit of hesitation there because of how good Paulo is, but check out the bets we have because there are bets on this fight on the board. Go to wewantpicks.com, click become a member at the top. It is only $10 for an entire month's worth of access, and that month gives you everything. There's no upsell, there's no cross sell, there's no weird tiers, there's no like, oh, you're here for the bets. Well, how about no tiers, nothing. All of it instantly, one click. WeWantPicks.com. $1.99 super chat from Santiago Mendez. 1 out of 10. How good is the Bob Lazar documentary, Jacob?
I would say if you've never heard his story, you're probably going to really enjoy it. It is definitely like, I don't want to say boring at times, but he goes in depth. If you don't know Bob Lazar, Angelo, I'll give you a little rundown here. He's been on Joe Rogan a few times, but he basically like said he worked at Area 51 for 6 months in like the late 80s, and he actually worked on an alien spacecraft. He was like a MIT like genius about like combustion engines and stuff like that. So they brought him in because they wanted him to like try to reverse engineer like this alien technology, and a lot of stuff that he said happened like has been verified where like how would he know that being like if he was making it up he would be no way of him knowing a lot of the stuff that he knew that ended up coming out. So he's told his story a couple times on Rogan and stuff, but they made a documentary using kind of 3D modeling and AI to kind of show more in depth of like what he was actually seeing at the time and stuff like that. But it's pretty crazy. Some of it goes a little bit too in depth in the science and stuff like that, but it's definitely interesting because if he's telling the truth, where everything it seems like he's telling the truth, it's pretty crazy. Especially with you hear what the congressman said today. I don't know who that fuck that was. He was like, I've been in confidential briefings and there's aliens and we've had contact with them. It's like, you said what now?
What? Yeah. Huh? That's funny. Are you even allowed to talk about that? You just slipped it out like it was no big deal.
But Bob Lazar has been talking about it for whatever, and he's like not like, listen to me, like he doesn't try to convince people. He even says like, I don't even care to tell my story. I don't want to be famous. He's like always kind of shied away from the media. Like, but everything he said he said it every single time exactly the same way, and things have been checked out. So it's pretty wild. It's an interesting story.
Yeah, maybe I'll check it out next flight, something like that. That seems more like a flight watch than anything.
Right. I mean, even to the point of like, he said he worked at this place and everyone's like, yeah, he worked at this place. And there's like newspaper clippings being like, yeah, an associate at whatever, or he works here, whatever. And then you call that place being like, did he work in? Like, there's no record of him working here. Same like his schooling and stuff. And it's like, he's not listed at MIT, even though everyone's like, yeah, he went to MIT. I was in his class at MIT. It's pretty weird. Like they tried to delete
they're trying to erase him.
They deleted like his credibility.
Or
tried to.
That is interesting.
Anyway, speaking of aliens, Yuri
I mean, wouldn't be the craziest thing we found out. Next up at UFC 327, we have Yuri Prochazka taking on Carlos Ulberg in the main event of the evening for the vacant light heavyweight title. I believe this is Yuri's 4th or 5th title fight. He was the world champion. He lost the belt, not in an actual fight. It was taken away because of injury.
He gave
it up, correct. And then did he win it back or no? He came back to fight Alex.
Lost
he
again.
lost to Alex twice. So this is his 4th time at a belt.
Well, you're at that 303 fight.
Yeah. Great
Crazy.
fight. Great card. Yeah. So this is his 4th attempt at the title, one of them being successful. 32-5 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. Those only 2 losses are to Alex Pereira. Taking on Carlos Ulberg, 13-1 in his career, 5-0 in his last 5 on a spectacular 9-fight win streak, which is actually the longest active win streak in this division in the UFC. If you count Mirzakhanov, his is longer, but he only has 7 UFC fights. This is an interesting fight to break down because I do think this is just, I'm not going to do my normal cadence of each fighter because we know what these fighters are. Yuri Prochazka, wild man savage, Carlos Ulberg, former professional kickboxer who moved over to MMA. If we break down this fight, I think we have clean technique versus just dog. Yuri Prochazka obviously has some technique, but he's got power. He's got grit. He will move forward. He's not somebody you can just get out of there unless his chin quits on him. And the only time we've ever seen his chin quit on him is versus Alex Pereira. Carlos Ulberg, technique-wise, is the better fighter. I don't even think that's up for debate. I don't think anybody would sit here and say Yuri Prochazka is the more technical of the two. He's clearly the better striker. He also has a pretty good takedown defense, and a handful of times he shot his own takedowns, and even those look good. He also has the longest active win streak, as I mentioned, and his one and only loss, which was in the UFC, was a fluky knockout in a fight that he was winning. So I imagine most people that are picking Carlos are saying that he's got great power and he's the better striker. But if you look at the people that Carlos has actually knocked out, they're not very good. He knocked out some bum on the Contender Series that never fought in the actual UFC. He knocked out Tefan Nchukwi, who no longer is in the UFC. Nikolai Negumereanu, no longer in the UFC.
Nikolai who?
Ihor Peteria, no longer in the UFC. Alonzo Menafield, who's been knocked out in his last 3 losses. And Dominick Reyes, who has no chin. Those knockouts don't translate to a knockout over Yuri Prochazka. So if you sat here and you said, listen, Carlos Ulberg is the better fighter, and I think he will just out-technique, stay on the outside, and dot his way to a win, that's a valid argument, and it's not a hill that I could die on because that's certainly very possible. But if you said he's going to knock out Yuri, I don't believe it. I don't buy it. I'm not on that side. I think Yuri wins this fight, but I don't think he wins by being clean and technical. I think he wins this fight by getting in Carlos's face, making it ugly, making it gritty, and not giving Carlos room to breathe, because Carlos does like to fight on the outside. Look how he fought Jan Blachowicz. He was just outside in a gazillion little leg kicks. So I think Yuri wins this fight, just literally with just sheer raw psychopath determination that we know we will get from Yuri. So he's going to be the pick. This is not a pick based off of technique. This is literally a pick based off of just heart and psychopath. So Yuri's going to be the pick, and it seems like the vast majority of the public is on that side as well. But Carlos is the better fighter, so I'd be very careful before you start laying out crazy money on Yuri Prochazka. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, 4 things here. I think these odds are absolutely correct as far as an even fight. Like I think it's a very, very close fight. Secondly, I'm a hater, and I think Angelo knows I'm a hater of both these fucking guys. I've been screaming Yuri sucks for a long time. I think I've picked against Carlos Ulberg in every single fight that he's had. Yuri, I did the calculation. I'm actually 4-1 in Yuri fights his last 5 fights, because as much as I hate Yuri as a fighter, I don't hate him as a person. People are like, how he's a fun guy. Yeah, like he's a fun fighter to watch, whatever. But as a fighter, I just don't think he's like as good as advertised. But I did pick him to beat Jamal Hill, because I think Jamal Hill is fucking the worst champion maybe of all time. And I did pick him to beat Khalil because of what happened. Like that situation, it seemed like that was like it felt like he was just going to pressure Khalil, and he waited a little bit to do it. But that brings me to my third point, which I think Yuri has to come in with the mentality of, let's go for that. Like he always says, let's go for that. And you remember how Alex came in against Ankh in that second fight? It was like, I'm not going to put up with technical bullshit. Alex was forward, yeah, Alex was like, I'm not going to play the technical game where we're doing this or whatever. I know I've got the power. I'm going to get in your face and I'm going to land my fucking left hook. And that's all that's just going to happen. I think Yuri needs to come with that mentality, because if you let Carlos Ulberg dance around the outside, that's what he does, man. He is very good. To his credit, he is very good at that, and he can do it for 15 minutes. And I say that because this is a 25-minute fight. I know that he can do that for 15 minutes, but this is how you break down this fight. It's a very simple question. It's a very tough answer. This fight is going to come down to, do you think Ulberg has the power to knock out Yuri or not? That it sounds so stupid and so trivial, but that's what's going to happen. Yuri's going to get in his face. He's going to eat a left hand. Ulberg's going to land the left hand. And is it going to land like Alex? And he's going to hurt him. And he's going to drop him. And he's going to be able to finish him. Or is it going to land like Khalil? Because Khalil was landing the left hand. And Yuri was, getting hit and getting staggered a little bit. But, he punches himself in the head, or he starts talking to himself. And then he just keeps moving forward. That's the question you have to ask yourself. Is Ulberg, does he have the power to hurt and put away Yuri? Because I promise you his left hand is going to land. Because Yuri gets hit. He gets hit by fucking everybody. He's a walking heavy bag. And if you think he's got the power, you're going to be on the Ulberg side. If you think he doesn't, Yuri's probably going to walk through that shit and do exactly what he did Khalil. Maybe get touched up, and he's going to have troubles, because Ulberg's not going to get pinned down like Khalil was. Maybe later on, 4th, 5th round, right? But early on, he's going to be in and out. He's going to be left and right. It's going to be hard for Yuri to track this guy down over the first 2, maybe even 3 rounds. But when he does get him pinned down and Ulberg can't knock this guy out, it's going to look like the Khalil fight. So, in my opinion, I've gone back and forth, and I might even change my mind before Saturday. So tune in, become a premium member to get the pick. I don't know what the hell is going on. But in my opinion right now, Ulberg can land clean enough to hurt Yuri early. He's going to land, and I think he can land clean enough because I think he's faster than people realize. And yeah, he didn't hurt a Jan, and yeah, he didn't hurt a whatever. But I think it's almost like the Yuri.
How long is this taking?
It's like the year. I'm passionate about this, Angelo. You've been. At least I'm talking about the fights instead of talking about God knows what you've been talking about. Okay. But I think the forward pressure of Yuri is going to be the detriment in this fight. I'm going Carlos Ulberg right now because he's just a better striker. He's the better fighter. But if that power doesn't land and land hard, it's going to look like the Khalil fight. So I get the Yuri stuff, and I might switch my pick. We'll see. I'm still on the fence, but right now on a Tuesday, I got to pick Carlos. I think he's the better striker, man. He's just a better striker.
He is a better striker. Completely agree. And I mean, we have the same breakdown. It's going to come down to pressure versus technique, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Somebody said, do you think Carlos can, Angelo, you don't think Carlos can knock him out even in a 5-round fight? First of all, the longer the fight goes, the more it's going to favor Yuri than Carlos. I've seen Yuri push a pace for a very long period of time. I haven't seen Carlos do that, and Carlos has to stay perfect. He's not the one that has to land that. He has to stay perfect and stay on the outside and not get pinned down and not get broken down. So this is a very good main event. This is a very fitting main event to fight for the title. Obviously, if Yuri wins here, it kind of makes the title it's interesting because we know Alex Pereira knocked him out twice in title fights. Actually, no, one was a title fight, one wasn't, but it's a very interesting fight. I'm looking forward to it. It should be exactly I can't imagine this fight's boring. I've never seen a boring Yuri fight. Carlos is not a wrestler. I can't imagine it's a boring fight. So
somebody mentioned the Kennedy fight. That was a long time ago. That was when he actually did get pinned down, and I think he's learned at this point. I think that was a great learning experience for him. He threw 225 strikes in 8 minutes.
He was dominating
that fight. He was smoking Kennedy. The guy threw 2. I mean, he just was he was a younger, inexperienced fighter. He's like, I'm beating the fuck out of this guy. Let me just fucking go balls to the wall. He got tired. It is what it is. And obviously, if he gets tired, the same thing's going to happen against Yuri. If he gets pinned down versus Yuri, the same thing's going to happen. But I don't know. It's a tough one. It's good. It's a good main event.
Yeah, I like this card. I like this fight. Jacob and I yet again are split. So if you need a tiebreaker, WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. It's not just us. We have 5 human cappers and then a robot. We have me, Artem, Betsam, Kunith, obviously Jacob, and then we have the artificial intelligence that's picking at 71, 72% accuracy, something like that. All of that's cracked on the website as well.
Cracked by Glover, knocked out by Alex. Rocket sucks, but looked decent in the first round. Knocked out by Alex. Jamal sucks. Wobbled by Khalil a couple times.
There you go.
I'm just talking to myself. I'm just trying to talk myself. This is a tough one, man. It's a tough one.
Very tough. This whole card is pretty tough. I think we found some reasonable spots. Obviously, this fight's this is a very good main event. This is what you want, a very debatable main event that could go either way. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. Make sure you guys subscribe. It costs you nothing to be here to support the boys. You click the like button, you click the subscribe, you click the little bell. Doesn't cost you a damn thing. We appreciate it. It goes very, very far, helping YouTube recognize, hey, this is content people might like, and they push it to other people. After that, obviously, check out the website. We have built the greatest service this space has ever seen. That's not even up for debate. It's not questionable. Here are the 4 fight cards coming up. And I mentioned 4 every time because it's $10 for a month. So here's what the month looks like. If you've never signed up before and you're debating about signing up this week, you'll get this card. You'll get UFC Winnipeg. You'll get UFC Vegas 116. And you'll get UFC Perth. 4 spectacular fight cards each and every Saturday. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. Couple of super chats from a weirdo, Andreas Murdovic. This is probably your worst prediction video so far. Okay, thank you. We will see you next week. Thank you for the $2. And then he asked,
thank you for watching them all.
If you're, you can't. That's true. He's essentially asking here with another $2 super chat if you're doing the lock of the week video this week. Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for the super chat.
Well, we appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. We flexed up to like 850 of you. These earlier shows seem to be doing quite well for everybody. So thank you very much. Genuinely appreciate it. This fucking guy, not him. And resize these images properly, man. First of all, Shitosaurus Rex. This is 4 different images that PowerPoint puts together like this. They get stretched out when they upload them here. Go watch my quick pick. They're sized perfectly there. It's the website doing that.
Couldn't you just kind of take us
to complain about this is outrageous.
Can you just take us through just a little, maybe a 30, maybe 90-second hit on what your stomach feels like right now?
Right now, it's good. When I stand up, I don't know what's going to happen. Right now, I'm good to go. I'm very thirsty. I'm unbelievably thirsty. Like, stupid thirsty. I need so much water right now. But yeah, guys, thank you for being here. I'm going to get some water. Like, subscribe, do all the things, and good luck this weekend.